Hey, and right as we go live, welcome everybody to the Fandom Zone. Once again, it's time for intellectual and stimulating talks of the night where we have nothing but highbrow and sophisticated intellectual conversations about the topics that matter.
Lies.
See, I'm working on my pitch.
Man,
So-
Squirrel!
The squirrel that is angry is here.
On time.
Oh my goodness. Like LB comes on mute, gives like the jazz hands, just like the committee we saw last night for Mad Squirrel. For me, he goes, what's up? I see how it is.
Sometimes in life.
Sometimes in life.
Oh god.
So sometimes humans be like,
Hey, don't be racist now.
sorry, I don't want
No,
to appropriate. I don't want to appropriate anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Personal point of
I'm
privilege there,
Kryptonian.
Stevie. Oh god, Stevie, did you see the footage from that at all of the Democratic Socialists of America, that convention we showed? Oh, I'll have to send you the footage. How dare I?
Oh yeah. Also, the unicorn wanted to see that too.
Oh,
She,
okay.
she walked in and was like, "What the hell is going on? Why are people jazz handsing?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't even know. You don't even know."
Honestly,
So-
Stevie, it's like the funniest thing you've ever seen. And it's a very short video, but it's good for highlights. So I'll send it to you. You have to watch it when you have time later.
Oh yeah, the highlights are real. I mean, if I did the kind of stuff that PV did with like Senate highlights, I would do the convention committee highlights because that shit was hilarious.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I set up a tweet, so I did my due diligence for the night. So I'm sure word is spreading. But let's get to our fine panelists from the evening. I will start with everyone's favorite squirrel. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Mad Squirrel. You can find me on YouTube at Mad Squirrel. I will probably be posting my crap. You can actually click on my name and go direct to my channel. You can also find me on Twitter at SGT Mad Squirrel. That's it. Yay.
And of course, the loneliest man, and who we are going to be having a fundraiser for to help him with his condition. He was tough times. Or to help him with his condition.
Yeah. I'm not doing too well right now. I'm here with you all. I'm feeling a little bit weak. I'm very exhausted, but I'm here to do this live stream because I don't want to let General Zod down and all the great people in the chat. So don't worry about me. I'll be okay. Don't DM me. Don't message me. Just let me be lonely and in peace. I'm all right.
God.
Oh, I'm from the mythical land. And from the mythical land itself, the man who saw a great movie called Danger Close, and I'm looking forward to that review, Mr. Stevie J. Go ahead and tell him about yourself.
G'day, everyone. I am joining from the land down under, and we have a storm today, so that's been fun. Just raining and cold and wet and all that kind of awesome shite. But I did, as General Zod said, see an awesome movie last night. So I will be trying to get my review out sometime in the next 8 to 10 hours. But yeah, I'm happy to be on with Mad Squirrel, Lonely Banter, and of course, General Zod.
Tank Engine Jeremy. What's up? I love having you here, man. And my screen is up front because it goes by the order of rulership in the fandom zone. So now I don't know why it does this, but it's easier for me to see everyone's screen because when I do something like this, then you can't see all the cool graphics. So I do this so that you can see the thing in the background and the banners and everything.
He also
So-
asked, did you get your tags right this time?
I think so. There's no pound me too sign on there. So I don't I have 5 likes instead of an automatic 6 dislikes, so I assume that my tags are right tonight.
Yeah, because like as soon as that "Pound Me Too" sign came up, and all of these like angry feminists were attached, like were clicking on it, and your channel came up, they saw a dude's face and like, oh, dislike that.
Like, that's male white privilege. Why is he championing our cause?
Why
He
is
doesn't even
his-
have purple hair?
Why is his screen bigger than everybody else's screen? This is ridiculous.
And yeah, so you never tank engine. You never have to kneel before Zod. It's hard to get a train to kneel. I can get it to stop, but I can't get it to kneel. So I'll give you a pass. Welcome, Jamie Vick. LB will be feeling like his giddy self once he gets the medicine. So don't worry, we're pulling for him.
Yeah, my YouTube views been down, so my next check might be kind of low. So I might have to do a live stream fundraiser and to get myself together. General Zod, I had an idea. It just randomly popped in my head. Since Toriel always in your chat, you could do a special panelist like you did with the Senate, maybe one day.
Oh yeah, I would love to have Toriel on.
I just want to hear her hot voice.
Oh my, yes, we definitely must do that. Do it when I do my special panelist share. But tonight we are doing the OGs, except for PB, fashionably late, or the wife. So I'm gonna skip over what my first topic was gonna be because I know if I do the first topic, PB is gonna be angry because I know he. Shellback in the chat says, I just spotted Zod in Western Washington. Welcome, Shellback. Good to have you on. We also have Kermit the Log. We have Goldfinger. Welcome everybody to the channel. And don't worry, Tank Engine Jeremy, I'm going to get you here on the program too. So, I don't know why I'm always in such high demand for people to come on this wacky night of shenanigans, but
really quick up, PB in chat said, motherfucker, you better not talk about donuts without me. So, just had to get that in there before we even decided to go down that road.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the donuts right away because I know that PB will re-break my neck. And I gotta say, I would prefer to not have my neck broken again. It's a very painful experience. So, we're just gonna glaze over that topic for right now. Actually, we have a lot of topics tonight. I'm not going to go in my normal chronological order. I'm going to skip around because there was one that caught my eye that I wanted to talk about first, actually, and it's because I remember we were talking a while back in one of our late nights, And remember when we were talking, I believe we were talking about like shows we all grew up with, cartoons, or it might even been the Green Room, and I was a big fan of the Nickelodeon. We were talking about how the art style had changed and things like that over the years, which art style was better and all that jazz. I think it was Green Room talk. And one of the shows I had brought up was Rocko's Modern Life. I'm a pretty big fan of the show. I like its quirky humor. And well, we'll start with this one. Rocko's Modern Life Netflix movie will feature a predominantly trans story arc. You know, I don't know what the fuck Netflix is doing, but each and every day I am more glad that I canceled my Netflix subscription because it just seems like a fucking waste of money now. So,
I mean, let's
what's
think
that?
about it. I didn't watch Rocko's Modern Life. I wasn't into it, like, but it's a weird show, and this is gonna be. Isn't this like an adult type show? This time around, is it going to be geared towards kids?
I'm gathering if they're coming in hot with a subject like that, it's probably going to be geared more towards adults.
Well, I mean, it was a weird show, so it's whatever. You know, I don't think this. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I don't think for me it's just something I need to be rah rah rah. They're doing trans storylines in Rocko's Modern Life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever.
I wanted to read this article and see exactly what it was about.
Really quick. Shell back in chat said, "Yeah, I saw this kid who's about 3 feet tall wearing a GI and riding a razor scooter. I thought it was Zod." Okay.
Motherfucker.
I had to pop that in there real quick before we kept going, but I'm sorry.
And he wonders why I discriminate against turtles. It's that shenanigans right there. So anyways, I'm going to do a screen share here. And just jump into this article, and then we'll get your thoughts. LB already kind of paraphrased his thoughts, which is fair enough. I haven't had a chance to read the article, so I'll be reading it with you guys. Me and a certain unicorn were watching The Boys, which, by the way, she likes the show. So, FYI, if you hadn't seen it, I'm not shelling, but I'm just saying, go see The Boys. And my second review will be out tomorrow. In July of 1996, Nickelodeon aired an episode of Rocko's Modern Life called Closet Clown, featuring a story of Mr. Big Head desperately trying to hide his secret identity as a clown from a town of haters. These red-nosed gestures series creator Joe Murray confirms this was meant to be an allegory for a gay person coming out experience at a time when TV shows couldn't just come out and say it. We were still playing by the rules, so to speak, and still trying to interject those situations into cartoons, he tells EW over the phone. With Rocko's Modern Life, Static Cling, a new TV special coming to Netflix this Friday, times have changed. In a 45-minute continuation of the original series, Murray is no longer operating with the restrictions and is instead inserting a prominent trans story arc for Big Head family through the character of Rachel. EW can exclusively reveal. Rachel is a child of Mr. and Mrs. Big Head, was known as Ralph in the 90s cartoon of Rocko's Modern Life. This is Rachel right here. The Wallaby and his buddies Heifer and Flaubert have been floating around in space since the original series final. Now they're back on Earth in the events of Static Cling, but everything is different. The trio try to adopt in the new world of smartphones, food trucks, and print kiosks. One thing Rocko can't deal with is the loss of his favorite show, The Fatheads, which Rich created. Mr. and Mrs. Big Head lost touch with their child who went off on a mission of self-discovery. Thus, Rocko goes on a search to save his show and finds Rachel now working out of a mobile Fatheads-inspired ice cream truck, as shown in EW's exclusive clips above. When I started writing Static Cling, I really wanted to latch on to the idea of change and how society has changed and what's gone on in the last 20 years of development of these characters and how they would react to the change, says Murray, who returns to voice Rachel after voicing the original character for years on the show. It felt natural because it was not only about change, about finding who they are and making that courageous choice to go through that change. The storyline marks a strong push for more trans, visible, and G-rated entertainment, which continues to grow its inclusion of the LGBTQ characters. In its report card on the 2018-2019 TV season, GLAAD specifically pointed out Steven Universe creator Rebecca Sugar debuted a same-sex wedding on a Cartoon Network series. For trans representation, Amazon's Danger and AIDS co-created by trans showrunner Sadie uh, Pito Sky. All right, featured trans stories and characters. The show has since been canceled. Nick Adams, GLAAD's director of the transgender representation, who consulted on Static Cling, tells EW over email how important it is to show LGBTQ people existing in the world. Rocko's Modern Life, Static Cling tells a beautiful and hilarious story about accepting change. He writes, the younger characters accept Rachel immediately, recognizing she is still their friend. And while Rachel's father is slow to accept the change within his own family, even he realizes that loving your children should be unconditional. This story of inclusion and acceptance is needed in our current climate. A return to Rocko was the furthest thing in Murray's mind. When Nickelodeon first approached him, he was proud to work with the team of the original series and felt a lingering fear of messing that up. I told them I needed to think about it, and I started thinking of some ideas about stories that we could do and a story that I wanted to do. He says Murray soon brought in Martin Olson, another writer from Rocko's heyday, who really took to his fresh concept. Murray, however, had one caveat for the network. It has to be a story that I want to do and not watered down. I was concerned about that. He says, I want it to be as strong as the show and as much satire and as much social commentary as we could do in the times that we live in now. Yeah, so, you know, I don't know. So what do you guys think?
Man, like, I'm old, so I remember how like the 90s were. Like these people these days make it seem like society treated like trans and the alphabet community like they were the absolute worst human beings on the planet. They act like they was treated like they was beneath people. They acted like there was no TV shows that featured, you know, a gay character or people that dressed up and stuff like that. Like I know like you would hear slurs and jokes more often like in TV shows, movies, and in real life. But like man, they acted like these people were so oppressed. And like times have changed and everyone's begging for these type of characters in these movies and TV shows. Like I'm willing to bet it's probably the same statistics. Like I don't care if they have the alphabet community in TV shows or movies. Just don't force it on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's whatever. But I'm not out there asking for it. Like, I'm not like, man, I need some gay characters. I need some trans characters in this movie. Like, I'm not doing that. And I highly doubt most people are doing that. It's probably the same minority of people that are doing it, like it was doing 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah, to me, it's the same thing. It's the same thing when like writing any TV show or any movie. And what I mean is, like, if you've got, take a straight person, for example, a straight character, if they have a relationship in the movie that makes sense and it's part of the plot and it adds to the story, then cool. Otherwise, we don't need that relationship either. And it's the same thing with this. We don't need the alphabet community forced into movies or in characters. But if they're in there as an addition to a character that makes sense for the movie or the show, then I don't have any problem with it. But just doing it for the sake of doing it doesn't make any sense. And it certainly doesn't make for good stories either.
I don't know. I don't even know if this is going to do. I don't know. I kind of just. Originally, the original cartoon was meant for children. I mean, there was a lot of stuff alluded to, like that tongue-in-cheek humor. You know, I liked Rocko's Modern Life. I was one of the cartoons I did watch. I watched a lot of like the original like Nicktoons when they came out, so I appreciate it for the weird that it was. Um, but as far as this new movie and kind of this positioning with the trans character, I don't really give a shit. I just don't like the uh, outwardness of finding a virtue signal as opposed to it being just the same humor that Rocko's Modern Life did, but just introducing it away. I guess it just depends on how the film handles the topic and if it still keeps the same feel of like the original show. And I kind of, so far from what I've seen in the trailer, it kind of looks like they will, you know. But obviously, it's introducing a topic. Now, is it something that um, they're going to elaborate on based on the character of the big head son, you know, or whatever? Are they going to get into how the son, you know, decided to make the choice, or how is that going to be presented, you know? But it's just a lot of virtue signaling bullshit. So I guess it's just an all in how they actually uh, present it to an audience. Also, very quickly, Pop PB in the chat said, "Why are the white men on top, Zod?"
I don't know. That's just the way the format works.
See,
It's called white. It's called white privilege.
Yeah.
in chat said Zod is engaging in an institutionalized square placement with white men on top of screen.
See, if I did that, then
now it's dictatorship. Yeah.
I want
dictatorship.
Yep, and I'm still on top.
I wanted to add on to what you were saying too, like as far as virtual signaling, like why do they feel the need to tell us this is happening in the TV show?
Right.
Like, I mean, I know why they do it because people are going to talk about it and boost up the hype for it or whatever, regardless if it's positive or negative. But it's like, why do they always feel the need to tell us, oh, this is going to have this in it, this is going to have that in it? It's like, let us find out for ourselves, and then like, it is what it is. Let us judge it for what it is instead of already letting us know this is going to be here. Like,
yeah, that's a great point. I mean,
like think about it in real life. If you're going to a party or a movie or going to a function, is anyone telling you, hey, there's going to be a gay person there?
Brace yourself.
Brace
I'm
yourself.
just warning you, Steve over there, it's gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I agree. I like the point that you made earlier, like 10 or 20 years ago. And Matt's Mom Bear in chat also said the same thing. You know, that's a very good point. About 10 or 20 years ago, it just seems like things were not like this. You know what I mean? It wasn't like do I think that there was racism and other things? Yes, they've always been there, and guess what? They'll still be there. No matter how PC you make and clean cosmetically you make a society, underneath the underbelly it'll always be there. So you can only indoctrinate so much unless you just want a bunch of people speaking like they did at that stupid Congress or convention, excuse me, that we watched last night with the DSA. Like, that's just ridiculous. It's like you cannot sanitize human beings. By nature, we're going to be human beings, and people are going to say and do things that you're not going to feel is appropriate. So things have changed drastically over the last 20 years.
Well, like you both said, and LB, in the 90s, right? Mrs. Doubtfire came out, and so Robin Williams essentially dressed up in drag, like he's dressed up as a woman. So that movie was only advertised as, haha, this is funny because Robin Williams is dressing up as a woman. It wasn't derogatory or anything like that. It was just seen as funny and part of the movie. But at no point did anyone come out and say, oh, this is a great step. It's a power movement forward for trans people or anything like that. It was just, that was the movie, and that was what was in the movie. And it was funny. There was no other talk about it or big hype up about it just because Robin Williams was dressing up as a woman.
And also, too, I wouldn't mind these projects if they didn't fucking throw out these articles like you guys were saying. I just get tired more of hearing about it as opposed to people just doing it. Like, if I come across a show and there's some shit in there, I will be willing to look past it if it wasn't like heavily marketed and thrown in my face. Oh yeah, you got to accept this because it's so groundbreaking. It's like, it's not fucking groundbreaking. It's not new. In the 90s, we had tons of shit like that. There was a whole movie, I forget the name of it, but it was like, who was it? Was it Patrick Swayze or Kurt Russell? It was Kurt Russell, Wesley Snipes.
Oh no, that was Patrick Swayze.
That was Patrick Swayze. Yeah, when they all dress in drag and they go to the town.
And
like,
Jamie Vick just pointed out in chat, even before Miss Doubtfire, there was Tootsie with Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Show.
Oh, that's right.
Still know what the fuck that movie's about, but it's great.
Right.
I'm no clue to this day.
Crazy. Like, they keep trying to force this stuff on us. Like, no, like, do what you do. If we see it, we don't like it, we don't gotta watch. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of TV, movies, and stuff. Like, stop talking all this nonsense about inclusivity and making the right steps and the world is ready. It's like, no, your little community is wanting more. Like, okay, that's cool. I don't have a problem with y'all making a trans show or a gay show or whatever. But like, stop making it feel like we have to watch this stuff. We don't. Like, they got that drag stripper show on what, FX?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's there. I don't see people out there complaining about it. They either watch it or don't. It is what it is.
Or we, and yeah. The other thing Biden touched about a Birdcage, which was a remake of a French film, which actually was very accurate, by the way, between the two films. But it was all the same premise down to the T, everything, how it was written and everything. I loved all those movies. Like, I don't have a problem with any of this shit. I think it's, I don't know. I just think that the way that the media is running with this is that they're trying to think that they know what the hell they're talking about, and they really don't. They're just trying to normalize things that they are still not in touch with. You know what I mean? And that's fine if you want. And I don't see anything wrong with any of this shit to a great degree, but I think it's a lot about how they're platforming it.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that we hear about it all the time that's irritating, because we don't care about it being in the movies or TV shows or anything at all. But we just don't need it to be blasted in our face every 10 seconds that it's happening.
I wonder back in like the 70s, like when Bill Cosby and Sidney Poitier was like the biggest black stars, were they out there saying, oh, the first black actor to be in this TV show, the first black actor to be in a movie with 5 white people? I wonder if they was doing that back then.
Well, I highly doubt it. But that's the part that's irritating, because they keep on acting like it's the first time every time. It's like, but didn't you just see that movie like last year or 5 years ago or 50 years ago? Like, come on, people, come on. You're just not talking reality.
No, I think it's more of people trying to alleviate their own guilt. So they want to highlight the changes and progressions that everyone is making. And I like how they word it like everyone else. Like everyone else is accepting it. It's like, no, motherfucker, I feel like this is for you. Like you guys are like, oh, they're doing the trans thing. It's amazing. Oh my God.
It's like, I mean, I say this with everything. Like when people throw out that white people are racist or because they don't want like a black area, you know, stuff like that. I'm like, look, everybody ain't racist or against trans or against gay people. There are people that are, but most people aren't. It's like when I was in high school, there was a big community of men dressing up as women. No one was bothering them. He was just like, y'all do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, there was people that didn't like it, but for the most part, we was like, whatever, y'all do what y'all do, as long as you don't come to me trying stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, this media people, they just
it's
crazy, man.
it's the same thing as what you're talking about the other day, LB. White guilt, but this is straight guilt.
Yeah.
They got the straight guilt, so they got to make out like they're white knighting, so to speak, for the trans community or whatever.
Right.
And it's like you don't even need to do that. Like we're already there. We're already fully accepting of everybody, so it doesn't matter.
Mad's Mama Bear in chat says these forced changes are no different than unsolicited dick pics. I
agree. And no one wants those. No one wants that.
I can't say I've received any unsolicited penis pics, and I hope I don't ever receive any. But I'll take it.
Does that mean they've been solicited, LB?
Well, I will not come out tonight. Yeah, man. It's like I always feel like I mean, especially on the internet, when you don't have a face to your name, like you always have to explain yourself to people because they always accuse you of being white and racist or sexist or whatever or homophobe. And it's like I always go back to telling people about one of my favorite TV shows is Revenge, and the main character's best friend was gay, and it wasn't about him being gay. His character was about being a rich tech guy, and like sure he had he was bisexual, whatever. But yeah, sure he had like relationships with men, but they had a scene here and there, but it was a nighttime soap, but it wasn't throwing in your face like, hey, this guy is gay or this woman is a lead character of the TV show. They just let everything flow naturally, and it's just like
it was just an addition to his character, like a side part to his character that just added to it. That's all. His main thing was that he was the big computer hacker.
Mm-hmm.
There's an actual story. That's amazing.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies is Cruel Intentions, and Joshua Jackson. Yes, I followed Dawson's Creek. I have no shame in that. I had the soundtrack. That show was magical, and I wanted fucking Pacey to win, and god damn it, at the end he won. Fuck you, Dawson. Fuck you. But anyways, in Cruel Intentions, Joshua Jackson plays very like obviously gay character, and you know that was one of my favorite scenes in the movie when he blackmails the quarterback so they can get information on Reese Witherspoon, and you know they show him sleeping with the quarterback or whatever, and I thought that was funny as shit, and it didn't bug me. I was like, and it added to the story because you know the guy uses a lot of people, but he had this friend, and you know he used him to get information on another person, and I thought that was cool, and it didn't bother me. I didn't go, oh my god, this character I see as like you know, a man's man in this show is now being portrayed as a gay man, and what am I gonna do? My whole world is shattered. This is like, that's cool, good acting, dude.
Yeah, like, and importantly, it fitted perfectly into the story.
Yeah. And that's the thing. You can have these things. Like when I first was not going to watch The Boys because of how they marketed it. they were putting all the female characters like up front. And I said in the beginning of my review, I thought it was going to be a bunch of SJW nonsense. Like they were going to switch up the comics and make the females all empowered, and go the woke route. And then I watched it, and they do have their little things here and there, but it's not in your face to where you can't overlook it. Like you'll hear some lines and be like, oh, all right, there's your little whatever, because Seth Rogen is behind the scenes with the show, so we know where his politics lean. But for the most part, they do it very tastefully, and everyone in the show is a dick, including the females. There's one female in there that's a drunk who like tries to do the right thing, but she's like morally as bankrupt as the rest of them. So I like the fact that it's balanced. So it just doesn't focus on the males being dicks, but they have a good ratio. And if you could do shit like that, then you can still have your little 1 second plug for whatever and still make a good story and make it entertaining and not have this shit be in everyone's face. So yeah, that was just my take on it. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't have Netflix anymore, so I'll just watch a review. I don't care about anything coming on Netflix. As far as I'm concerned, they're going like way overboard with all their programming. It's just getting ridiculous. Every time they come out with something, they gotta be like, "Oh, it's this, it's that."
Hey, I mean Netflix. They gotta be able to compete with all these other streaming services. So that's why they gotta always put out these big headlines and make it seem like they're making big statements.
Yep. Just don't hire Leonardo or Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, man. Like I said from the jump, man. I mean, to me, I don't watch the show, and regardless, it don't matter. I mean, you said this is already an existing character, and they was skirting around his sexuality and whatever.
Not from the old cartoons, not really. I mean, there was one character where they did an allegory for him, like maybe being gay, but I mean, yeah, it is within the humor of the show.
Yeah.
I mean,
as long as they don't do it like some nonsense like how they did on Arthur with making Mr. Ratburn have a gay wedding out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's like people are like, I can't remember who I got a disagreement with. I think it was Prime about that. He goes, I think it was. He's like, well, what's the big deal? It's just an animated show. I'm like, it's not the fact that they did it, it's how they did it. There was no lead in, and that's a fucking clearly like kids show.
Right.
Kids network. And you're just gonna throw it in the face, not tell anyone. And that's different because as parents, you don't want that shit just thrown out there and then you gotta explain on the fly, and you're like watching this show with your kids. You're like, it's Arthur, it's wholesome. Hey, let's sit the kids down and watch it. And then gay wedding scene, and you're like, what the fuck? And they're like, Dad, why are two guys together?
Yeah.
That isn't cool.
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean, I don't have any kids, but for me, like I would think I want to be able to explain certain things to my kid before a TV show or a movie or someone in school tells them.
Thank you. You get it. Like when I have this debate, because I've had it across some channels with different people, and they're like, "Why does this bug you?" I go, because I'm a parent, and Stevie and Matt, you guys know what it's like. You don't want to be the last one or the person they come up to with that question you're not expecting. You're going about your day, and then all of a sudden they're asking you like, why guys like each other and shit. I don't want to have that conversation until I'm ready to talk about that, or I have to. I don't know, but that's not a comfortable conversation. That's like the sex talk or other stuff where you're just like, I know I'm gonna have to bring it up,
Well,
but I'm gonna hold it off as long as I can.
I guess I remember with my eldest, he and I had he asked me because I had friends who were gay and they had boyfriends or girlfriends, whatever. And he asked me one day, and I just told him I'm pretty honest, so having that open door conversation is always there, so he knows I'm not going to be like, oh, that's inappropriate. No, it's just the way the world is. And so I did have the conversation with him. I was very honest. I was like, well, this is what it is. And I said, you can ask me whatever you want. Then I had talked to my friend who's gay, and I said, if he asks you any questions, please, just let me know. But at the same time, be honest, and don't feel like, oh God, I don't want to offend anybody. I'm like, because you're not, because this is the way the world is. Whether or not someone agrees or disagrees doesn't really matter. If things exist, it's the understanding of what it is that's the most important. For especially for children, it's better to hear it from the parent than to find out on their own. So yeah, to me when I'm filtering films now, it's more or less, or cartoons or whatever it is to kind of more gauge what political ideology is being shoved, and if it's going to help the film, meaning it's part of the story, or if it's just simply a bunch of shit being thrown out there. And I think kids are a lot smarter than we credit them for. But I know that there's a whole generation of children that were extremely sheltered, and that's why we have the shitstorm we have right now. So I feel like a lot of my friends' parents were not honest with them about shit at all, and so now I see them like freaking out because apparently they just realized they're mortal. So that's interesting. Like they had no experiences with like real life things or the world outside of themselves, for better or for worse, because it got stuck in this hyperbole. But at the same time, your job as a parent is to prepare your child to live in the world when you're dead. That is your job. And a lot of these parents have failed that. And that's the reason why we're ending up with all this like coddling and nanny state bullshit talking about point of privilege. It's a bunch of crap. Sorry. But no, I mean, being a parent, there's no guidebook. There's no perfect way to do it. And you're always winging it and hoping to God that your kids don't explode when they hit a certain age. But that's parenting.
You steer the ship as best as you can and hope that they don't hit the proverbial iceberg.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, it's always screening stuff. You're like, okay, what iceberg am I looking at today?
Like my kid was like, she comes up to me and she's like, Dad, do you know about Pennywise the Clown? I'm like, how the fuck do you know about Pennywise the Clown? She's like, yeah, that movie. And she's like, can we go and see it? I go, never, ever, ever am I taking you to see that film. First of all, your grandma will kill me, and we argue about enough stupid shit as it is. Secondly, no, because that movie scared the shit out of me. I can only imagine my daughter won't sleep for a couple of months after watching it. I was like, daughter talking about she wants to watch it. That kid is too much like me. So
it's spooky, isn't it? Spooky.
So yeah, I wanted to cover that. I also wanted to cover an awesome story because this person happens to be a actor that I like, and I've liked a lot of his stuff. Danny Trio speaks out after saving a baby stuck under an SUV. I always had a theory that he was a badass, maybe even borderline a superhero, but I had no clue until today it was confirmed.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna screen share this for you guys. It's like a YouTube thing here where he speaks about this heroic deed. So
There's the SUV. And you did mute this, right? You muted it on purpose.
Actually, no. I've got the sound on my end. It's not on your guys' end?
No.
Okay, well, good, because I don't know what would be considered what, so I'm just going to leave subtitles up. It's only like a little 5-minute thing anyways.
And the thing that's so cool about him when he did this interview is that he said that when he went into looking like a badass, Danny, look at you. He pulled out when he was trying to get the baby out of the vehicle. There was a grandmother and her grandson in the car, and they were at an intersection. A car hit them. Flip, you saw the vehicle upside down there. He was pulling the baby out, couldn't get the car seat to open, like the latch. He didn't have his hands were too big to get into the area to unlatch it. But this young girl, he actually named the girl that was there at the scene that helped him. I think it was Monica Jackson was the girl's name. She was able to actually unlatch it for him. Then he pulled the baby out. The little boy has special needs, and he was going into shock a little bit. And because his, I think either his wife or his ex-wife, one of those, I think it's his wife. She worked with special needs children, so he had been around quite a few of the kids, and she had already kind of taught him different tricks to help with children that are having a bit of a meltdown or going into shock. And he's explaining, basically he just said, "Oh, we're superheroes, and look at how strong we are. We're superheroes," and that's how he got this little boy out of the vehicle, to distract him long enough so he was calming down, coming out of shock a little bit. And so he actually held onto the baby until the mother showed up at the scene and stayed there with them as the grandmother was being attended to because she was heavily injured. They had to actually do the jaws of life and lift the vehicle to get the grandmother out of the car. And also he said that the car seat saved that baby's life because the whole entire back where the baby had been, the back seat was collapsed and gone because of the accident. So, so Danny is the ultimate warrior and the best of 2019. So, yeah.
So, I wanted to play this clip for people, and this is amazing. Like, I like seeing stuff like this, like that there's still people in Hollywood who give a shit. I mean, there were people who drove past, and he stopped and helped these people out. Didn't have to, and I mean, man, it was just crazy to me. Like, I like his movies, and he always plays like a badass kind of character or whatever else. But dude is a badass in real life. Like,
oh yeah, and he's very humble. That was the thing, is he was just very humble about it. And he said he was walking to the auto shop at the time because he goes and repairs his own cars. So he's like, I was heading into the auto shop and this happened, and he was, naming everybody there, describing the scene, and he was very humble about it. And I think he's just a normal quote person, and I put the link to the video in the chat, so if anybody wants to hear his full interview, he's very cool, well worth the watch, and of course, that's just Mr. Trejo.
So what do you guys think about this? Let's start with Stevie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Perp.
Oh, did I just hear Perp?
What up?
What's up, Perp?
Chilling.
So what do you think about the most badass B-level actor of all time saving? Danny Trejo saved a baby from a car and then calmed down a kid with special needs and stayed with them.
That's cool.
Very understated. Thank you.
Well, I'd say it's a big change from Johnny 23 when he played him. Or 23, as he said.
I wish I could save a baby from a falling tree or some shit like that, and people recognize that. I'm a regular person.
Hey, Perp, it doesn't count when you put the baby up the tree as well, man.
And he just happened to have his camera out as he does the rescue.
You're like, look at me.
There's a
World
baby
star.
in the tree. World star.
What's good, everybody?
World star.
That's good, Perp. How are you?
Chilling. I see LB's wearing a different color other than blue today.
Bruh.
You sent tripping?
You being felonious right now.
That's a big word.
I wore purple a couple of nights ago, but you were talking about I was wearing blue. I was like, man, I'm repping for you right now.
Appreciate it.
So LB, what do you think of this?
He's a great humanitarian.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
agree. Actors pat themselves on the back for donating to charities and all of this stuff, but you know, he does something like Monumental, and I'm pretty sure that he only got out there because Fox News or whatever covered it. But he's just so humble, like no big deal. I was just doing the right thing, kind of, and that really speaks to the character. Why can't we have more people like this in Hollywood? Name not like if someone else happened to be going across the street, I don't know, one of the other actors out there, would they have stopped and
No.
potentially risked their lives to save another human being?
Very few.
No.
Keanu Reeves would have.
Yes, he
Yeah,
would.
I believe Keanu would have.
If you're worth like $1 million to $1 billion, yeah, they don't give a fuck about you.
It's good to see that there's some people, and he's done a lot of stuff, but he's a big bit character, and he's not the hugest per se, but to see him just stop and be like, I'm gonna do the right thing and forget my status. I'm just gonna, go as a human being and help another human being. That just speaks a lot. That makes me want to watch every one of his films that come out, even if they go straight to DVD. I'm gonna start a whole collection.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
Man, I'm gonna have to go back through and watch Machete 1 and 2 again.
I'm going back to Conan. Why
We
couldn't
all
you
love
put the
it.
bunny back in the box?
But that's just awesome, man. And I love seeing stories like that because it's just like with all the bullshit we cover and all the stuff that legitimately pisses me off when we're covering something, it's good to cover a story that doesn't piss me off. So I'm happy to actually have a smile on my face after reading an article or seeing something on YouTube. I did have a smile on my face after that convention, though. That shit was hilarious. Yes, Rosetta Allen, and welcome. I do agree with you. Machete is fucking beast. I love that. I mean, he used dude's intestines to jump out of a hospital window, and
That's savage. Yep.
yeah, man, that movie was off the hook. And he fought Mel Gibson. Come on. He went against the
But you know what?
himself.
You know what tops that
What?
is Brad Pitt fighting Bruce Lee.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty awesome. The movie that keeps on getting the the media in the tizzy. So the next thing I wanted to bring up was one that's close to me because it's DC. Not saying that I'm showing for them, but DC Universe, $7.99. You guys sign up right
10%.
now.
So this is basically a topic where Mad Squirrel can go get snacks. I can go get snacks. Stevie J can do whatever, and Perk can listen to Rick Rock album.
Hey man, the universe is popping right now. It's popping.
Thank you. I'm glad to have a like-minded individual who understands the brilliance behind the DC universe and all of the great stuff going on there. Go check it out. Got great prices.
Yeah, don't be a Marvel fanboy.
Go enter the code ZOD and you will get discounts on some of their merchandise. Anyways, this was something that was brought up and I had to cover because Superman is actually one of my favorite characters. And Superman's official Twitter dives right into U.S. immigration debate. apparently Superman has a message about immigration. How the fuck he does, I have no clue, because he's a comic.
And I never saw a comic about Superman getting his immigration papers done.
Right. He is definitely a whole immigrant. Like he's not even from this planet.
He was he put his
I'm a citizen.
Where's his
Yeah.
green card?
He is the definition of an illegal alien.
Superman is literally the illegal alien that Trump talked about.
Right. That will kill you.
Yeah. Wow. The audacity.
So,
Right.
we're gonna dive into this bullshit. My God, DC, don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, fancy.
So here's the article right here, and there's Soups.
Are they doing
Superman.
a comic book on this?
What's this?
Are they doing a comic book on this or something?
No, it's on the Twitter account, so I don't know if it's a mock Twitter or whatever. But
If it don't got that check mark on it, then
I gotta tell you, apparently Superman is even better than Zod at the Twitter, because he twittered out something about immigration. That son of a bitch. I just want you to know Zod would never do anything like that. Who's the real villain here? Anyways, Superman's official Twitter dives right into the U.S. immigration debate. What does Kal-El have to say about this? DC recently gave their flagship character Superman his own Twitter account, because Superman definitely needs to be on social media, where he promised to deliver some truth and justice. In his latest post, the Man of Steel wasted no time doing exactly that. On Thursday, a tweet from Superman jumped right into a topic straight from today's headlines: immigration.
I don't mean to cut you off, but like, they really made an article about a fictional character too.
He certainly did. The news was skimpy over the week.
it should have been Rorschach.
Yep. Come on, we know what Rorschach's doing
Butterfingers.
about.
Butterfingers in chat says Krypton is not sending us their best.
Sending us all these snap neck people.
Hey, I warned people. I told them Superman's a dick for years now. No one listened to me.
And Mad's Mama Bear says, but Zod has papers.
Thank you. I do. I've got a 9 to 5. Okay, it's not even easy blending in with your Earthlings. But the man. So on Thursday, a tweet from Superman jumped right into the topic straight from today's headlines: immigration. A slideshow video posted to the account recreates "Lend a Friendly Hand," a one-page public service announcement first printed in 1960's World's Finest Comic, issue 111. In the story, two American boys shun a refugee named Sindor with the justification that Sindor can't talk English or play ball or anything. Superman's super hearing, which he eavesdrops, I might add, like a prick, picks up the discussion, and he seizes the opportunity to teach the youngsters a lesson on compassion and tolerance.
So wait, Superman knows Spanish now?
Oh no, he doesn't talk.
Yeah, you know, they just hype up Kal-El. He can't speak fucking Spanish.
If you scroll down the comics there.
Yeah, I don't know. I see this bullshit fucking Superman. Where's the Zod comic?
I mean, well, technically, in Spanish, his name is Cal Z.
That's funny.
Superman takes the boys on a trip across the ocean, explaining that refugees often flee their homeland because of war and political events.
Oh.
The Man of Steel. Yeah, what about the fact that your dad was warned by, I don't know, a certain general about how if they didn't, stop a certain computer, it was going to blow up the planet. But no one listened to, that
They,
wise general. They just
they
decided.
did the same thing to Thanos, and look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm also thinking like the fact that you call yourself General Zod is really funny. Like you really this whole gimmick and ran with it. Like,
Yes, I did. The Man of Steel also shows the boys a dilapidated refugee camp to hammer home the point of why refugees leave in the first place. He probably fucking destroyed it when he was like attacking those innocent merchants of death and Justice League. I'm just saying. Or no, was that? Yeah, no, it was Batman versus Superman, where he just goes and fucking kills everyone. But I'm the bad guy. Anyways, Superman closes out his message by urging readers to be friendly to boys like Sandor. This message, of course, also applies to immigrants who are fleeing their own homelands for similar reasons today. The immigrant crisis, yes, we have a big crisis on this southern U.S. border remains an ongoing humanitarian issue. The message may be nearly 60 years old, but it's no less relevant in today's times. While Superman promises truth and justice, the current tweet shows he's also still fighting to preserve the American way. Um, there's him taking them to the refugee camp. Oh gosh, this is how they live? Yes. You can help too, but being friendly towards
The
boys. Oh my
refugee
goodness.
camp. These are white kids.
you know, this is ridiculous. This is the most nonsensical thing that I've ever heard. Like you created an account for fucking Superman.
I mean, they also created an account for OJ. I don't know whose idea was that, but
That's
ain't
beautiful.
nobody asked for that.
That's beautiful. Ask me anything he says. Bad idea.
Tweeting out his memoirs from prison.
You should get into a Twitter war with him. Just be like, "At Superman, you suck."
Oh, I'm going to find Superman's Twitter and I'm going to send some tweets out to him. Be like, "You fucking phony talking about immigration and you're from the same fucking planet I am. You probably don't even got
You're like, I got papers. Show me yours.
I wonder if
Aliens.
Superman can drive. Does Superman like have a driver's license?
Oh my. I would hope so.
No, but he has to have a pilot's license when he's flying around.
The FAA shoots him down.
That's right. No going into restricted airspace.
He steps on the brake and breaks it.
Yeah, he's not allowed to fly over North Korea.
Matt's mom there said he took two kids to another country. Yeah. Endangering children, anyone?
Right.
He just takes the kids, doesn't tell the parents, flies them over to a fucking other country. But it's Superman, so it's okay. Really?
That's some powdered toast man shit.
Like, this is deplorable. And I'm the villain. I'm the villain and I speak truth. And no, Kal-El goes and kidnaps some kids, takes them to a refugee camp, and then flies them back. And then is forcing his message of oppression when the kids just want to be kids.
Right.
It's disgusting. Probably
And
is gonna
That's
be-
funny.
sometimes adults want to be kids too. Just saying.
So,
Just saying.
I mean, what we can take from this is, folks, who's the real villain? I'm just saying. The guy who kidnaps kids, flies over to them over to a refugee camp without even telling their parents, or me.
But didn't you destroy a whole planet, Zod? Isn't that how it goes?
No, I got blamed for destroying a planet, okay? His parents were the ones who destroyed the planet. They were warned, but did they do anything about it? No. And the High Council was warned. But did they listen? No, they didn't. So I was going to overthrow those pricks. And then I got exiled before my plans could be hatched.
Domestic terrorism.
I don't know how you can even think about tweeting at Superman or doing anything because your neck is all floppy. It broke.
Yeah, if he's so incorruptible, of such a beacon of light, then why'd he break my neck?
Because you're an asshole.
Because you were going to kill some. You were going to kill the whole family.
You were going to kill the refugees. Yeah.
Flying kids around and shit.
Just picture that. You call little Johnny or Susie in for dinner. Like, oh, where'd they go? Oh, Superman took them to another fucking country. They'll be back in a couple of hours. He's got to go teach them a life lesson.
Try that shit in the hood. He gets shot up. That's how Superman.
It just really, this shit sickens me. It sickens me. At least my plans are hatched towards the adults and the government and changing the world. Superman just wants to spread hugs and puppies and rainbows. Yeah, how'd that work out for Krypton? Newsflash, it didn't. I'm just saying. Zod 2021.
Oh,
I need 2020.
2021. I like this Trump fellow.
He's a year late.
I'll give him the next year.
Shit.
Maybe he'll get me on the payroll. So, yeah, I had to bring that up because that was some shit. So let's go to our favorite thing with YouTubers going down. YouTuber Brooke Houts investigated for animal abuse after accidentally uploading footage of slapping her dog. First off, I want to highlight a couple of things.
That was a big ass dog. I seen that shit.
Yeah, that was a Doberman.
And how do you accidentally upload footage of slapping your dog?
Somebody uploaded
you've doing things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
There's
haven't
a
you ever been
difference
just like,
between messing up a hashtag and slapping the shit out of an animal and uploading it.
You had
come on.
your channel that was called High that was 12 seconds.
You know what would have made that video better is if she slapped the dog, right, and the dog said, "You know what? Fuck this bitch," and just jumped on her.
well, maybe the dog was the one who uploaded the footage.
Oh,
Hey, check this bitch out. She's slapping me around.
He's like, I don't have thumbs, but I can do this.
That's a big ass dog. I wouldn't fuck with that dog.
Report, and that's Adobe. Stupid bitch. Like, I saw the footage. Did everyone see the footage of her?
I didn't, because I didn't hear about this until a few hours ago, and frankly, I don't care.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. I saw that footage. At first, I was like, okay, is it going to be like the last chick who did this, where it's like the cat throwing? And no, this was like full on. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was going to be something like that. And then, of course, obviously, there was other stuff she had done. But with this footage, I mean, you clearly see her slap and kick and shove the dog and do all kinds of shit. And even spit on the dog. And I was like,
I wonder what the fuck the dog did. Like, did it pee in the house or something?
No,
like
it interrupted her when she was trying to record the video.
Oh.
Can you imagine her throwing the Doberman behind her?
Oh, that would have been.
I'm like, yo, this chick is strong as hell.
She's on that V.
She lies
Like
on YouTube and like, leave me alone, dog.
She looked like she smacked her.
That's her happy face. She just got done beating the shit out of her animal. Look at that big ass smile.
If she's stupid for uploading it, I was like, why wouldn't you cut that out and just felt like you needed to keep that in there?
No, bro, she was trying to get them views, but it backfired on her.
Yeah.
White
When
privilege
context
again.
goes wrong.
So, Brooke Houts is dealing with the fallout of accidentally uploading raw footage of a video she was making with her dog, in which she's slapping and shoving the animal. In the footage the popular YouTube star uploaded on Tuesday, she tells her viewers that she's trying to prank her dog. How the fuck do you prank your... Okay. A Doberman named Sphinx by putting plastic wrap on the door. However, when the dog jumps accidentally on her while she's standing up, she slaps him on the head before diving down to grab him. Later, she's seen shoving him on the floor and yelling, "Stop!"
Play the video instead of reading the article.
That's a big ass dog, yo. Fuck with that shit.
Oh. There. Your audio's all effed up.
Yeah, you should just mute it.
Yeah, she's trying to do the video, but there we go.
It's a big ass dog. That shit look like a demon. Don't fuck with that.
Man, let me go find the video myself.
Yeah, this video is very choppy. I just saw it actually.
What's her name again?
Brooke Houts.
Houts.
Spelled Houts, and Brooke with an E at the end. Because that seems right.
Wow.
I think we did it.
There's so many YouTubers. I never even heard of this woman, man.
Shit. I forgot how to spell his name.
Hey, the more YouTubers get in trouble, the more like they can make space for the little guys. You know what I'm saying? So let's get rid of these big YouTubers. Let them fuck you. Win for us.
Are you looking for the better video? Because I had one earlier and I can't find it. Now I'm trying to remember who posted it.
Yeah, but
SJ,
where
I
is
can't remember. SJD.
is this?
Here today for this
TMZ.
That's his tongue.
Let's see if this is it. Did he post it?
She got a long ass head.
Yep. She uploaded the wrong one. Is this the video?
I don't know. This is another video that they have.
It's a big ass dog.
Another one.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Oh, so I guess this is her like apology or
She's an ass.
walking.
Oh, here we go.
I watched it. I mean, y'all know I don't like dogs, so it ain't really nothing to me. But y'all like dogs on me. Y'all probably cried in private or something.
No, it more or less pissed me the fuck off. That's about it. It's just, it just because she was being a snotty bitch to the dog. And I was like, you know what? You can't, for somebody who's training their dog, like, there's probably different ways of training your dog than, like, beating the shit out of it because it wants to, like, give you a kiss or, come up to you after you were friendly with it. You know what I mean? Like,
so I'm thinking, like, she's doing that to that dog, like, that could have had an effect on, like, other people if the dog could attack people, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, man, like, why that dog ain't bite or nothing? That's a big dog, man.
Right. That shit big as fuck.
Matt's Mama Bear in chat had brought up earlier that Snow Dub went off on Brooke at some point. I only caught one conversation where he had an exchange with her, and he was like, "This," because he has Adobe, so he was like, "This is how you train your damn dog," like you don't abuse them and shit. So I'll have to go back and look for those tweets she's talking about. But yeah, she definitely they went at each other a little bit.
Like, she looked dumb. Like, how you upload the wrong video? Like,
You can't trust chicks with long heads.
and a lot of brawn.
Right.
She's trying to look dark like us, Perp.
Right. Trying to be like Snooki.
Did you already play the video, Zod?
I can't do those links in the private chat. I can't click on them.
Oh, hold on.
You can try to pull it up on the actual Twitter.
I'll give you LB's link. The one on Twitter, I sent you that one, but the one that LB sent you is from TMZ. Shit. I get a cookie for this.
Yeah, she's
I'm like clicking out fucking windows as I'm doing it. I'm like, well, yay for me. Yeah, there's LB's article.
Man, she got 330 subs. Wow.
It's a wrap for her.
Yeah, that's it. And
They gonna
I'm
kill
at
her,
303,
though.
so
Wow. She's lost 430 subs.
Oh, did
We
she?
get them 400.
And I mean, that ain't nothing.
well,
Yeah,
you
you
know, General Zod doesn't abuse animals here on the channel, so I'm just saying.
Not on the channel. Off.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh, what? No. Wow, she's lost 1,600 subs since August 4th.
Wow.
No. Hold on.
Wow.
I looked at the wrong screen.
Yeah, I'm looking. You're on what, Social Blade?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's losing quite a few.
Yeah, since the 4th, she's lost 9,000 subs.
Wow.
9,000 subs. Wow.
Where the 9,000 subs go? Can I have some?
Yeah,
What's up?
we got great talks here.
Well, you know what you gotta do, Perp. Go
Her
around slapping
views
some
are
dogs,
up,
mate.
but she's losing subscribers. So that, I mean, that ain't really that bad.
The cops are
What
like,
you
we
say,
need to take
Stevie?
some video.
I just said go around slapping dogs.
Yeah, I mean, she's losing subs, but she's like getting more views, so she's making more money. So that ain't nothing.
Well,
Right.
if you
She's
want to
straight.
get to like 40,000 and like 500, 600,000 views, just shill for Disney and slap dogs at the same time.
You know what? Might have to do that. Call it a Pluto slapper.
You know what?
Slapping Pluto.
Stevie, you got an untapped market here. Start slapping kangaroos and dingoes. Just walk up and slap the shit out of them.
My
Holy
friend
shit.
has a Yorkie, so I might just try to throw it out a window or something.
Aw, that poor dog.
I'm gonna cut it up though, nigga.
You put a
Hey,
trampoline out there.
If this
Yeah.
is how she trains her dogs, I really hope she doesn't have kids.
Oh, I doubt it.
God.
I totally doubt that.
Yeah, my friend's dog's retarded. She's retarded.
I'm reading her statement. I don't want to play the victim, but I'm going to play the victim.
What does that mean? That's so funny.
These YouTubers.
That's why they need to go. All these these big YouTubers need to get the fuck up out of here. They're all crazy.
Yeah. You don't see
need
Zod doing that.
We need the Infinity Gauntlet to do a snap half of the big YouTubers out of the.
Bruh, she lost more subs in a day than I have total subscribers. Like, man,
Yeah, that's crazy.
that's real, bruh.
They're gonna chew her the fuck out like the rest of them off.
Uh-huh.
Mads Mama Bear in chat said, I saw a kangaroo trying to break down a window. Pass.
Hey, she gonna have to like release videos of her laying on her bed cuddling with the dog like every day for the next month, bruh.
Mhm.
Right.
Like giving them doggy snacks and everything, like treating the dog like a royalty.
All right. Give him a nice little sweater.
Yep.
Sweater vest.
Take him to like the
I feel
dog
like-
dog spa, bro. You gonna have to do everything.
You're like, look, this is Galaxy's Edge, the dog park version.
Exactly.
I feel like
She gonna have
that
to take
dog
a
needed
first
to
class
have.
flight to like a tropical resort just for dogs, bro. She's
What
gonna
are
have
you
to
saying,
roll.
Stevie?
I was just gonna say, I feel like that dog needed me to send over a kangaroo as a bodyguard.
There's a box that shows up with holes in it.
Bro,
It's all kicking.
she probably gonna get a reality show called Dog Intervention.
With that other girl that was like beating her cat. So it's gonna be like pet owners of YouTube.
Oh yeah, there you go. Like they probably already plotting this like a YouTube series based on like pet therapy and stuff.
She's probably getting doxxed. She's probably getting doxxed and everything. Like, we know you.
Yeah.
They gonna pull up.
Oh, Jamie Vick in chat says that she makes personalized dog sweaters.
See, Jamie Vick, you need to reach out to her right now. Like right now. Leave the family.
Make it.
Reach out.
Make a
Jamie
sweater that
Vick.
says, "I'm sorry, YouTube." That would be great.
Jamie Vick, do you have an online store for your dog sweaters?
That's fire though.
Hey, Jamie Vick, send me an email with your dog like stuff. I'm going to send it to her. We're all going to send her link so she can get a personalized dog sweater.
And we'll give her suggestions. No, no, but if you have an online store, let us know.
Yeah, Mad Squirrel likes to dress up her two dogs.
Man, ain't my fault. They look cute.
The sweater should,
Dress them up as squirrels.
Hey, man.
should say
That'd be funny.
dog lives matter.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, that'll be the next
Hey.
cause. We can
And the dog is black. Even better.
Oh god.
Black dog lives matter.
Oh my god. I'll do it.
Hashtag. Oh my goodness. You guys heard it here.
Jamie Vick think I'm playing. I'm gonna give her the dog sweater money.
Oh man. That'd be awesome.
Big ass sweater. You gotta make a triple X sweater and shit. Like,
Hey, Jamie Vick, I hope you got a yada yarn.
a lot of material. You gotta make him some Gucci flip flops too. Some Balenciagas.
Hey, you gotta make him a dog chain too.
Right. A dog choker.
Little hat. Oh, get a little hat.
That's
Gotta
the
be
beast of-
gotta be like
Hey,
a
hey, send him a
gotta be a big
Kango hat.
Yankee chain, though.
Oh,
It's got to be a big
Oh,
dollar
we-
sign gold chain.
We're done.
we will fix your image.
So Jamie Vick says, I don't sell sweaters. I make them for people once I get to know the dog. Well,
Oh.
watch that video for like 30 straight minutes so you can get to know the dog. Then you can sell that dog. You ain't even got to sell the sweaters. Donate them.
Right.
That's so cute. I
Do
love
a
it.
pro bono.
Oh, she can knit the hats too. Oh,
Oh my god. You gonna have a
That
little
makes me
yarmulke
so
on
happy.
this shit.
I love little knitted hats.
Hey,
Oh.
Zod, play that video some more times so she can get to know the dog.
Oh, he took the video off. Where is it? Oh, my
You can
goodness.
knit the dog a little snapback cap and shit, or a dab cap. That shit look funny as hell.
Oh my.
If that YouTuber got a PO box, that dog finna get the most gifts ever.
That dog looks like it would rock Scully's and shit. Like,
She's not gonna get, and Brooke's not gonna get anything else in the mail except dog treats and like pamphlets on anger management. That's all her ass is gonna get.
she's gonna get people to pull up to her crib. Like, people are gonna be like, "Oh, why'd
Oh.
you do that to your dog?"
Yeah, she'll get stopped in public eventually.
Right.
And
Somebody throw something.
one of the articles is off Entertainment Tonight, and it's on People Magazine today. So this is starting to go viral. So her life's going to get very complicated for being a dog beater. I'm just saying.
When
Terrible.
keeping it real goes wrong.
So Peter,
That girl, man.
Peter is asking YouTube to remove her.
That girl, man. That girl, man.
Peter is asking YouTube to remove her. So 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 Pe
Who is?
Peter.
Oh man,
Oh.
her shit gonna get shut the fuck down.
Oh, Jimmy Vick
Bye-bye.
makes boots. She makes
Oh my
boots
God.
too.
She got the Tims. She can make the Tims.
I love it. Oh, it's so awesome.
She can definitely make some Balenciagas.
Oh my God. What will the neighbors think? I don't even care anymore, you know? Oh, Mad's Mama Bear asked Jamie Vick, do you call the boots pugs? That's cute. Oh, shit.
Oh, my
So
God,
Pete is
that's
trying to get her
hilarious.
pulled.
Let's
No
go.
one saw
Yeah,
that
it's
coming.
Man, that dog tongue is extra long, man.
Mhm.
Ugh.
That's a Doberman? Yeah, I grew up with those dogs, man.
it's just as big as
They're good dogs. I mean, they're loyal. They're very kind. They're good dogs, you know, but the owners treat them like that. Then they wonder why they're, you know, mutilate people and shit.
yeah. He look like he eats people.
Definitely
Yes.
ate somebody before.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, she got a pet cat too? Man.
And the cat didn't do
Oh.
nothing. Didn't have the dogs back. See, that's why I don't like cats, yo. They'll see the shit go down and be like, they do a little like, you know, look around like an owl. And then
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. They're such,
and the owl.
they're such pussies.
Hey,
Aw,
shit.
I love cats.
Unless you
man.
got a crazy ass cat.
Right.
I got
That cat saw that dog getting abused. That cat jumped straight out the window. Bruh. That cat used one of the 9 lives to get away from her after that.
Or the cat told the dog that, yo, don't go over there fucking with her, yo.
The cat finally uploaded the video.
Yeah, it's like, dumbass, I told you not to jump on her.
That's why I be over here minding my business.
Mom told you last week about YouTube time.
Right. Like, how long you been here, dog?
Oh, so
Yeah.
I need to drop a video advocating for the dog so I can get me some views. I'm like,
Do you have
hey, I'm
any?
gonna be like, bro, I don't even like dogs, but after I saw that video, it like touched my heart, and now I'm thinking about maybe owning a dog or something.
You ain't got
Get a neighbor's dog, be like, good dog. All right, get this dog out of here.
LB, you don't got no pet gators?
Nah, bro, ain't no gators around me. I don't live by the lakes. Well, I do live by a lake, but ain't no gators over there.
Oh,
I don't think so.
alligator man.
But you do get frogs. That's your.
Yeah, I went to war with a frog last night. That's why I kept going on mute. That frog was big, man.
Just be ugly as
It was
fuck.
like the size of a Doberman teeth.
Frogs, man.
Frogs don't be shook by nothing. Like you could just like jump at them and they just be like, "What are you doing?"
I'm trying to get you some money, man, so you could donate more super chats to me. If you want this, you want to make some money, let me know. I'll holler at Brooke.
That's awesome.
$100 dog sweaters.
Exactly. You know Brooke is in trouble, so if you see a black man message her, she's gonna have to respond because she don't want to get called racist. I'm riding for you, baby.
That's dope, though.
I don't even want a percentage.
I'm definitely up for that. I just need to wait till I get a little closer to fall. But yeah, I'll do that, and when I do, I'll take pictures of it and put it on Twitter.
Why don't porgs exist? I want a porg.
Jesus Christ! Oh, fucking porgs.
I can talk about porgs since fucking PB's not here, so he's absent. He wants to be late.
We're gonna see Perp come on and be like, you know what we need? We need more representation for the porg community. He has a little plush porg doll.
Imagine what like a full-grown porg looks like. We'll probably get some of that in episode 9, where it just looks like a fucking demon and shit. Like,
Man, I think you got an unhealthy obsession with porgs.
They're cool, man. You motherfuckers is funny.
All right, so I'm gonna move on to the next topic, and actually, Perp, it's one you'd be interested about too, because you
This is
and
the
me.
Rockos.
No, it's a movie we just saw.
Oh, yeah.
Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark included this iconic story. So, for all of you who don't know, I went to see that. I thought it was pretty good. Me and Perp
Yeah.
are gonna have a discussion about that. So,
Sometime in the
No.
future, near future.
the very near future. So, I was gonna do it tonight, but
It's all good.
unicorns. You're like, no, you don't go out until 11. I'm like, okay. Unicorn magic. So, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark nearly included this iconic story. So, I don't know what iconic story it was, but let me just play this and see what man answer.
What?
Oh,
What is Guillermo del Toro lying about now?
No, he's making commentary.
Yeah, he was going to. He adapted. So for the new movie, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, he took stories from the book and brought them to life. And it's
the high beams in there.
yeah, and he said he wanted to put high beams in there, but because of the fact that it was PG-13, and they were already skating that line between PG-13 and R, he decided to cut it.
Yo, Zod, imagine if that movie was rated R. Like the certain things they could have done with the certain scenes.
Yep. But I will tell you, it's one of those PG-13 movies that walks that line very, very fine. Like, very fine. There was some parts where I
it gets a pass. It gets a pass for me.
Yeah, it was definitely it's definitely good, and it was one of the creepier movies I've seen this year. So
it'd be dope if they had like a uncut version for the Blu-ray.
They're gonna have an uncut version. I feel like they cut out a lot of stuff from that.
I thought it was supposed to be rated R when it was before. I could have swore it had a Red Band trailer, or I probably was like tripping.
I like how I sent you an article for your chat earlier, and you just like didn't include it. That's cool.
Yeah, we're jumping.
Oh, now you do got Walmart. I apologize, I'm sorry.
yeah, man.
I just wanted to confuse you real quick or something. And turns out I was wrong. My apologies.
No problem, man. That article stood out for me, and we'll talk about that bullshit. Yeah.
I never read these books, but like I remember those covers. Like those are like ingrained into my brain. That's why I never like picked up those books. I was like, why the fuck would I read this?
I actually read the books. I love them. They had Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, part 1, 2, and 3. Them shit scared the fuck out of me. That was like, man, I don't know honestly which one came first, Fear Street or Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I want to say it was
Scary Stories.
Yeah, I think Scary Stories too. I want to say like the first book was before R.L. Stein, but what do you think, Squirrel?
Well, I know I was a huge fan of the series of books. I read a lot of scary stories, urban legend books when I was young. That was like one of my favorite things. The original Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark came out in 1981. Second one came out in 84, and then the third came out in 91. And they used the same type of art in all three books. I love all three of them. Like they all have awesome stories in them.
I'm really glad that they didn't go with the 80s, because it's like that's just been so like the 80s has been overkill. Like I'm glad they kind of went with this the 60s, like the late 60s and shit.
Yeah, well, the books, like, they technically don't have a date. They're not, like,
Yeah.
dated, because these are all, like, quote,
Yeah,
urban legends,
individual
right?
stories.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so, like, you get all these different ones. I'm sad that High Beams wasn't included, but I like the idea of it being another, either a sequel or another story to be told. You know, I think urban legends and just
Yeah,
old legends in general would be great. Yeah.
yeah, they probably fit into the sequel because there's definitely going to be more movies if this does well.
And you had heard about like the original books, like they took them off the shelves because quote they were too scary for the
Yeah, that's
art,
crazy.
and they changed
Yeah.
all the art to crappy stuff. And I was like, listen, I'm like, don't touch the originals. That art is fantastic, and that's what made the book so great because it had that edge. You know, that made those legends seem more, I don't know, spooky when you're younger, and even as an adult, they're still creepy. You know,
Hmm.
so I mean,
Yeah, and in the film, he uses that original art.
and that was the right move. You
So
know,
the idea of adopting the scary stories to tell in the Dark Book series into film was seemingly an overwhelming concept, as the three books have delivered readers dozens of terrifying tales. Filmmaker Gilmore del Toro has long been a fan of the series, and while he previously attached to direct the adaptation, instead handed over directorial duties to Andre Orvindal, with Del Toro opting to serve as a producer, while the filmmaking team had their work cut out for them in the selection process. Not all of the picks made the final cut, with Del Toro revealing how close he came to including High Beam's story in the series. There are many stories we wanted to include, but we couldn't, or we did,
Yeah.
or we
Yeah.
did, and we removed them.
Yeah. Fuck that Snyder cut. I want the cut
The
for
Toro
this.
cut.
Yeah.
Particularly a story called High Beams. The character it was linked to, I thought it was not good to give that story to that character, and we removed it. In High Beams, a girl finds herself seemingly being terrorized by a truck driver who keeps on shining their high beams on her until she eventually gets to her home and gets out of her car, with the driver wielding a gun. He reveals that he saw someone attempting to attack her in the back seat when the attacker was hiding every time the truck driver flashed his high beams. This story was adapted for the film Urban Legends in 1998, which was a good movie, and I want to do a review on. Luckily, even though we didn't see this story in this year's adaptation, Del Toro previously teased it. He's interested in bringing the story to life in a possible sequel. There is High Beams, uh, wants very bad. Del Toro shared at comicbook.com, and The Ribbon I love. I think it's also one of those. The outcome of that story is so memorable, and it's very, very short. Has such a great visual gag. In the movie, it's 1968 in America. Change is blowing in the wind, but seemingly far removed from the unrest of the city. The small town of Mill Valley, where for generations the shadow of the Bellows family has loomed large in its mansion on the edge of town, that Sarah, a young girl with horrible secrets, turned her tortured life into a series of scary stories written in a book that has transcended time. Stories that have a way of becoming all too real for a group of teenagers who discovers Sarah's terrifying home. So, dun 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 dun. So yeah, I mean, I would be interested in seeing, you know, that kind of a cut, like a
Yeah.
hidden,
It seems like they
hidden.
didn't want to show a chick getting killed on screen or getting brutally murdered or something like that. That's probably why they cut it out.
yeah.
I
And
really believe. Remember how long they took to release the rating? I really believe that they were teetering between R and
yeah,
PG-13.
I
Hmm.
could have swore they had a Red Band trailer. Matter of fact, let me look at it.
But yeah, what do you guys think of an adaptation and they didn't do it like chronologically. They didn't do it like Twilight Zone movie where it was self-contained tales. They did it as like, you know, it was happening to a particular group of teens.
I think I personally would have liked to have seen the individual stories played out into a film, like short stories, like they did. They've done this with other films, but kind of like 30-minute segments for each story. I think that would have been cool. I guess it just depends on how the story actually translates to the screen and how they're able to, how it looks and
They
how it feels.
they
You
do
know,
it actually pretty well, like surprisingly, like that. The way that they're able to intertwine all these different stories, it was really done really well.
I like the trailer, so that's the reason why I'm like maintaining the optimism about it. But I would have really, yeah. Otherwise, though, yeah, I think the stories that
Yeah,
they did not put in the film,
that
um, that would be cool to see a comp movie of all those different stories in 30-minute segments, and they could introduce other actors. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and this is what like the type of tone and direction I wish the Goosebumps movies went. Like I wanted like individual, like a Carly Beth movie, Attack of the Mutants, or like just like individual movies or something like that.
Hmm.
But they definitely did it better than Goosebumps, like the Goosebumps movie.
It's funny
Yeah,
because
this was legitimately not a fun-filled movie. As a matter of fact, and I agree with a lot of the reviews that I had seen previously, is that you really got to think about taking your kids to see this movie because it is not one of those movies. Like, it's legitimately going for more terrifying than it is like family friendly. I saw a parent in there with some kids, and they walked out about midway in the film.
So
It just wasn't
I know
terrifying.
mine. Yeah,
So, um, but yeah, me and Perp will be talking about it more than likely probably this weekend. We're gonna do a spoiler review, but I want to give the movie a chance to have some people watch it before I do a thing on it. So,
yeah,
come by the channel and check out while we talk about and break down the story structure and the individual tales. The art is astonishing. I love Guillermo del Toro. I've always loved everything he does, and he's the right fit for something like this, where it's like the creature designs and everything. Even though they said he was like a director, you could see his handprint in that art. Like,
good.
yeah. He does a good job of creating like the creatures and stuff like that, like laying out the blueprints for that.
Hmm.
yeah,
I
like,
do
and the
look
way
forward to
it's
seeing.
shot. So, Stevie, what do you think?
Well, personally, I've never heard of the books or the movie before, so yeah, I don't know really what to say about it. It sounds interesting though, and I'll be interested to watch your review when you get that done. And yeah, it sounds like it's reasonable though, so I'll probably check it out.
Cool. Um, LB, what do you think? Even though I know you don't really like horror movies.
Well, you already have your answer then.
Well stated. Well stated. So, yeah, definitely check that out. And I'm thinking about doing something this weekend on that. We'll see what time provides because I will have the little dictator with me. So, see what kind of free time Dad has. So,
I can answer the question on PB's behalf though because he's not here. I'm pretty sure that he would say, "Is there any cheese in the movie?"
uh, no, there's no scene with cheese in the movie. Or
But
is
he
there?
Okay, sounds
he
like
is
trash
in the
then.
movie. Oh, they do
Sounds
make
terrible.
mention of LB though in the movie, so LB, you might like the movie 'cause they mention your initials.
Yay.
Now, I wanted you to actually do this article, Squirrel, if you didn't mind.
uh,
The alleged predator,
oh,
Jessica Yaniv, arrested, home searched. Who is this, and what is this about?
Okay, let me go ahead and pull those up really quick.
Oops, wrong banner. Sneak preview.
The name was familiar to me when I saw the article floating around, and immediately I was like, oh, I know who this is. Okay, hold on a second. I'm just pulling up the tab here. Pull up the first article at least. Okay. All right. So Jessica Yaniv is a transgender BC activist. Says she was arrested for brandishing a taser. She was arrested for doing that. I have to carry pepper spray with me because people are so freaking violent over here, Yaniv said during the debate. So she was actually on a live stream with Blair White, and they were going back and forth talking. So Jessica Yaniv is a transgender BC woman whose complaints over being refused intimate waxing services sparked a wide controversy. Do you guys remember that? So there was that complaint by a transgender person that they couldn't go to a female salon slash, all services they have there for waxing, and they refused to wax her because she is transgender, because that's a little different of a waxing because she hasn't had surgery. Okay.
Oh.
So there is, and I support the salon's decision on that because it's such a high liability. If you don't have people who are trained in that, you could really hurt the person. Okay. So anyway, this Jessica Yaniv was arrested Monday after brandishing a prohibited weapon during an online debate. So Yaniv said officers showed up at her apartment in Langley, BC, shortly after a YouTube debate on transgender activism had ended. The officers asked her about a stun gun, she said. So about 3 minutes after the broadcast ended, I had our RCMP showing up at my door and putting me in cuffs, saying I had a prohibited weapon, she said in an interview. She said that after her release from the holding cells and returned to her apartment, she called the RCMP back Tuesday morning to report a child sexual exploitation photo that someone had sent her through Facebook Messenger. It was a disturbing image, Yaniv said. She urged the RCMP to return to her apartment to take the report and information about the message, she said. The RCMP detachment in Langley confirmed an arrest and a search of a home after receiving a weapons complaint stemming from a live-streamed internet broadcast. No charges have been laid, at least not yet, preventing the RCMP from releasing the name of the arrested person, said Corporal Holly Larger. The information from police was forwarded to the BC Prosecution Service to decide whether the Crown will proceed with any criminal charges. Largy said a person was taken into custody at the time while officers prepared an information to obtain document to allow for lawful search and seizure of the property in relationship to it. So after the search, they found 2 conducted energy weapons, most likely tasers, bear mace, and pepper spray. They seized all that from the property. Now, they also confirmed that they received a separate complaint Tuesday in regards to pornographic images which is under an active investigation, and the police information matches what Yaniv had, given to them. Now, the interesting thing about this particular woman is that, woman, whatever, is that she had allegations of being a predator online with underage females, and I'm scrolling down on this a little bit. Here we go. Yaniv became a controversial public figure after she made numerous complaints to the BC Human Rights Tribunal against beauty salon owners who refused to provide her waxing services. She said she was refused waxing of arms, eyebrows, as well as her genitalia area. She still has male genitalia, but earlier said she is on a wait list for genitalia surgery. She is taking female hormones and legally has changed her name and sex on official documents. Yaniv is the subject of several allegations of harassment, including claims she has a history of vulgar, sexualized online communication with teenage girls, at least one of whom has contacted a national tip line for reporting the sexual exploitation of children. And Yaniv has denied these allegations. I'm going to pull up the other article here in a second. I got to switch over stuff, so pardon me if I stop sharing. And then I'm just switching over to the next article that kind of breaks down a little bit more as to the actual allegations.
Stevie left.
Oh, did he? Oh, his connection.
No.
Nah, he said he'll be back in 15.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, 1 second. I'm sorry.
I think there was a wild kangaroo that was trying to get into his vehicle, and he had to go kick its ass.
Okay. So this is an article from the postmillennial.com. And anyway, so they had, this is basically just saying the Post-Millennial has confirmed speculation that the Walnut Grove home of Jessica Yaniv was raided by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police last night. The raid followed Yaniv's explosive live appearance on Blair White's YouTube channel, brandishing and demonstrating the functionality of a taser at one point in the debate and claiming to be fully aware of its illegality. Yaniv also claimed to possess pepper spray. Yaniv's discussion of the weapons followed a lengthy racist rant disparaging the East Indian and immigrant communities of British Columbia, asserting, "We have effed up people who migrate here who think they can do whatever they want." So reports about the raid initially circulated on Kiwi Farms, with user and neighbor to Yaniv W.G. Kitty reporting the arrival of the police at approximately 9:46. The user reported police presence at the residence. So the stuff's been confirmed now. So, she obviously gave updates online. And
Yeah, of course.
And according to Ashley Smith, whose experiences with Yaniv included having been offered child pornography, she was contacted by the RC, this woman. But she has a lot of interesting things, but previously reported on the Post Millennial was the disturbing allegations of sexual interference by Yaniv towards girls as young as 14. Some of the now adult victims of these inappropriate behaviors had filed reports with CyberTip, Canadians' online child exploitation reporting service, and also with the RCMP. According to National Post, Yaniv claims that after she was released from a holding cell, someone just randomly sent her porn. So
yeah, that's what people do for me. Like,
yeah,
just get done and bam, random porn. I tell Lethal, stop sending me this stuff, man. I already have it.
And this article about Yaniv actually was posted 2 weeks ago. The young woman who allegedly, the young woman who Yaniv had allegedly engaged in inappropriate sexual behaviors online with men when she was between the ages of 14 and 15 has confirmed that she has filed a child exploitation report against Yaniv with the cyber tip of the incidents. So a young woman has come forward with serious allegations against Jonathan, Jessica, and Yaniv. Yaniv is a male to female transgender and had recently risen to infamy to the Human Rights Tribunal. So we've already talked about that. She actually was going against 16 of the different people who do waxings. I can't pronounce the word properly without destroying it, for declining to perform waxing services on her male genitalia. And while the suits are ongoing, a publication ban on Yaniv's name and the content of her case and history has been lifted during the hearings, allowing details of her disturbing past behavior to come to light. 20-year-old Jessica Rumble of Samish, Washington State, has disclosed details to the Post Millennial and her encounters with Jessica and Yaniv. Rumple was 14 years old at the time of her interactions, turning 15. And so these are all the screenshots included of the actual interactions. I'm not going to get too far into it. But anyway, it's just another interesting issue. It is kind of going back to something we've talked about before regarding individuals on the extreme left, is that there seems to be, just like there is on the extreme right or anything else, but more so it's interesting because it's the people who are screaming the loudest that seem to have predatory issues.
Well, Squirrel, this goes back to a thing where, this is such a sticky situation, but I'm just going to be fucking blunt about it. These people sit here and defend everyone. They want the open borders and all of this tree-hugging hippie bullshit that they're always talking about. And yet they never want to touch on the bad shit. They always want to play their victim cards and talk about this person being oppressed, that person being oppressed. Immigration is terrible, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's break those down. Immigration, so what? We don't have drug dealers and all sorts of pieces of shit coming in and in the same open borders that you so desperately want. With the transgender community, they can't have people like this who are preying on innocent young girls. I mean, let's be real. If we're going to call out one side, we should be calling out the other side. There should be an equal, shining light. And it's funny because they don't want to highlight stuff like this. They like to bury it and then talk about the cases where fucked up stuff has happened. But what about the families that deal with this? What about those issues like that? So these people who do these waxings and stuff should be subjected to that because of, that's just that's beyond the call of your job. I'm sorry, I don't know what the details are. I've never had a wax done personally, so I don't know what it's all about. I know I've had no interest after I saw the 40-year-old version. Does not look like something.
I don't believe you.
LB, I told you, you can't be saying the stuff I talk about off air.
Oh,
God,
my bad.
I told you that in confidence. And it was to be
bad.
more.
Hey, my bad.
I want to be aerodynamic when I swim.
I mean, at least I didn't tell them about the time you blew your tax refund on hookers.
It's all good. They were legal Asian hookers.
Oh my God. Oh my. That escalated quickly. I will say about the waxing thing, I can understand the ladies declining to do that for a male, primarily because there are numerous, things that you have to consider. It's very different than doing a female waxing, and not everyone is cross-trained to wax both genders. Okay, that's just the way it is. It's different. It's obviously. I'm just being honest. My mom was a beautician, and she did, her salon did stuff like they did waxing, and they would sometimes have to decline because they didn't have anybody that was able to wax a male. And because it sounds like I'm just going to say this honestly, from my opinion, is that I think that this lady went in there, finally either disclosed to them right away, I'm not fully transitioned. This is a big deal for someone who has to go down there and do anything, to wax. So I don't think that I think she thought, well, I have privilege because I'm transgender. No, you need to be honest. It's just like when you go into a doctor, you're not going to be ovulating. I'm pretty damn sure. Okay. So you would be wasting an OBGYN's time unless you're there for something else. You know what I mean? Maybe hormone treatments and stuff, but they're specialists for that. So the point is that I don't think she lives in the land of reality about health and safety. And this goes back to this bubble of not understanding. Listen, you can be transgender. That's not the problem here. And you can't accuse 16 different people for all being that way. A lot of women are not cross-trained and waxing for males. And yes, men get waxed. That's just the way it is. And I don't know. It just pisses me off because it's very ignorant and childish. Once again. So, yeah.
I don't know. Even on a drunken day, I've never said, you know what, guys? Forget matching tattoos. We're going to get matching waxes. Let's do this. We got to find some
matching Brazilians.
It's like, bro. Forget the bond of a tattoo or, a blood bond. We're going to get bonding waxes.
Oh, God.
Come on, man.
No, thank you, sir. I'd be like, what
that's just a shitty job. Who goes to school and, they're sitting there and they're going to their classes and they're like, you know what I want to do? I want to wax people and look at the penis while I'm waxing them. That would just be great. I'm going to make sure I get cross-trained so I can just wax those areas. And all that. Oh, hair.
Somebody watched the Karate Kid too many times.
Dude, I'm looking at my hairy ass legs. The poor bastard who would have to wax oh my God. They would need Valium after. Come out like a Vietnam vet going, I've seen things.
I'm dead. That's funny as shit.
Look at that.
LB, do you have any comment?
Yeah, he's muted and he's given the look.
that face says it all.
Oh man, that's funny.
All right, let's get off the waxes before LB's head explodes.
Don't get wax, smoke wax.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, and they ban certain drugs. But no, I mean, you know, in general, this is very telling of the hypocrisy that we have going on. And I bet you're going to have those certain individuals who are going to play this up and call this person the victim because, oh, their rights are being trampled over and they're so brave. I'm surprised Brie Larson hasn't come out and said anything because, you know, she was saying something after Jesse Smollett. That motherfucker was guilty. I'm waiting for the next star to come out and start speaking up for someone in you know, in that community because it's just like this is just like
I just recognized the name because it tied into an article or discussion we had less than a couple weeks ago about the same person having the complaint and wanting to sue. I was like, okay, good luck with that. But anyway, what is the next one on the docket? And where's PB?
I don't know. I've been putting this Krispy Kreme on the back burner because I know the minute I do it, PB's gonna finally jump on and be like, "You son of a bitch, we're going back and we're talking about it."
He's being a lazy ginger.
Let's talk about the one that LB actually brought up, and I think you said something too, Squirrel. And this is very interesting because I like games and I like guns. Walmart reportedly removing violent game ads, but yet we're still sell guns.
Yeah, that shit's like you might as well get rid of the paintball guns, get rid of all the airsoft guns, get rid of the actual hunting gun, get rid of all that shit. Man.
God.
So you know, this is the shit that just boggles my mind. It was kind of like the thing, and Lethal's not here, but I'm sure his spider sense will tingle when I bring this up. But it was like the thing with Mortal Kombat, right? They wanted to clothe the ladies in the game, but the dudes still have half-ripped shirts and everything off, and oh yeah, are decapitating people, ripping their heads off of their spine.
And it's sort of like I don't know if you saw the news for that that Gears of War 5 they're taking the smoking out of the game.
Yeah, because smoking will kill you, not the guns that they're shooting, but you know, that tobacco.
It's ridiculous. So basically what they're saying is that every single person is so weak-willed that whatever they see on the screen is what they're going to do. They're just so weak-willed that they can't decide for themselves what's right, what's wrong, and all that. And I swear to God, we are going to end up literally living Demolition Man.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, kids, don't buy this violent game. But over here, we got some sales on some high-quality shotguns. So, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Don't buy this violent game. Don't buy this violent movie. But go ahead and get yourself a gun. If that's not the most asinine, hypocritical bullshit I've ever heard. And of course, this article is brought to us by IGN because they're so fucking balanced.
Really quick, Mad's Mama Bear in chat had asked, "Oh, do they sell guns at Walmart's there?" Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, General Zod, I have a quick thing to say about this. You say video game violence doesn't cause real life violence, but you named yourself General Zod after a villain in a movie.
A villain, a hero of Krypton.
So how is that any different than people following video games, huh?
Because I'm not gonna go out and kill someone and say, kneel before Zod.
That'd be epic.
I mean,
Oh God.
you say that 7 nights a week on your live stream.
Disclaimer.
I'm just saying, like, you was influenced by a movie to change your entire lifestyle. You transition different. So it is kind of the same.
No, there's a difference between parodying something or adopting a persona, knowing that in my real life, I'm not actually, well, I am a little bit high strung maybe, but I'm not actually blowing people up.
Well, to LB's point, how many people have seen Scarface and wanted to be Scarface?
Oh, dude.
Well, in one scene, yes.
Yeah.
It's like everybody in Florida.
By the way, since you turned into General Zod and you started telling people to kneel before you, no one's seen Bitchy Unicorn at all since then.
You heard her out the live stream yesterday.
The conversation that it was her.
TV. Oh man.
I was told there would be donuts.
Hey, it's PB.
Just on being influenced, I have to admit that I feel like at some point in the future I will turn into Kick-Ass.
Don't turn into Jim Carrey.
We'll
Fuck, I
see
love
clips
that
of
movie.
Stevie
That's hilarious.
with that shit that Kick-Ass had, the 2 pipes beating up fucking dingoes.
You mean getting the shit beaten out of me and getting stabbed?
Very good point and shot from Jamie Vick. She said it has been proven that young boys who have not been around guns will fashion a gun out of anything from Legos to bananas. That is so
To
true.
Pop-Tarts.
Because they're bored.
You don't know
hearing
how
about the
many
Pop-Tart kid.
Lego guns my kids build each day.
7.5.
They've got Star Trek phasers. They've got fucking Power Ranger guns. They've got all sorts of shit. And they all just come up with it. Just, hey, I'm going to make this. Hey, Dad, look, this piece of toast looks like a gun. Like, yeah, well, it actually does. Yeah.
Like, look at Nerf guns. Like, they got, like, machine gun Nerf guns, like, automatic.
Sniper rifle guns, Nerf guns.
Right.
Think about it. Like, movies are very impressionable on people. Like, General Zod changed his whole persona into a character from a movie.
Because of a porn.
I followed in the footsteps of Andy from the 40-year-old version.
I'll be so horny. I love it.
And a big shout out to really quick to Benzo H. Hey, thank you for subscribing to the channel and welcome to the craziness of the late night talks with Zod and PB. PB may not always be here on time, but he will get here when we talk about donuts.
What do you mean? I've been here every time that Benzo has been here.
And cheese.
I love cheese.
No, as soon as we said donuts, I've never seen some.
No. Pause. That's not a real thing, Perp. You cannot love
PB
cheese
trying to
too
talk
much.
right now? I can't hear anything.
Okay, Stevie.
Is this thing happening again that happened the other night where I can hear everyone but him?
No way. Bullshit.
Shit.
Are you serious?
Hey, PB, I love you. Love you, PB.
Damn it, Stevie.
But not as much as you love cheese.
Oh my God.
Mad's Mama Bear sent you a coffee and donut just for you.
Ooh.
I feel like I need an interpreter now because PB can't hear. I can't hear PB.
I can hear Stevie just fine.
Oh, someone proper entered the chat. How you doing, proper? Good to see you.
He's handling this crap. I mean, not handling this crap.
Robert Jeremy in chat says, I can't handle this crap. That was it.
Stevie.
What are you guys now?
Hey, Stevie. Sure. Stevie.
Oh, shit.
Hey, somebody tell him I asked my question.
Stevie, PB wants to know what kind of cheese do you like?
I'm gonna say Cracker Barrel.
He said Cracker Barrel.
I can hear him. I can hear him fine. What the fuck? No, I can always hear him fine. He just can't fucking hear me.
And what shit is he giving me right now?
My God.
Oh,
Shit. Oh man.
I really am feeling the oppression now.
You are.
I'm feeling
As you
feeling
should.
oppressed. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling all kinds of
Hey, You
extrication.
can't be
Yeah.
stealing other people's lines. That's terrible.
LB Proper wants to know if you're okay.
No, man. He's got to do a
So
yep,
you got AIDS? You got the AIDS?
yeah. We got to do a fundraiser. We're doing a live stream later this week, maybe early next week. Not sure yet. Got to schedule it for LB to work through his sickness.
I mean, I wanted to be the one to tell the people when I was ready, but thanks.
Oh, my fault.
He just outed you, man. Did you hear that? We've been dancing around it tactfully. Perp goes, nah, the man's got AIDS.
Good night to Benzo. He was just popping in and before he went to bed. So he said, "Have fun,
Oh.
everyone."
Good night.
Oh, we will.
Benzo.
Night, Benzo.
Just hit up Mike Magic Johnson. Yeah.
Well, he
He's
doesn't
got
have
the magic.
AIDS.
He's got the magic.
But yeah, thanks for exposing me. Wow.
Super chat in there. PB, do you want to grab it?
Super chat from Proper Jeremy. Whose perp's name is the bowl perp?
It's
Right?
that bull. Not
Yeah,
the.
I know that's not what he spelled out. I can read what it says on your screen, but he couldn't copy it, or his autocorrect fucked him over.
Oh, gosh.
No, the no isn't the problem. You put the, you putz. Improper.
Oh,
I can finally hear PB. You cheese fucker,
Hey,
you.
Stevie.
You had to change your name.
You can hear me in the wonderful mythical land of Australia. Finally,
Yes, finally. I feel like
transmitting
we've
to
been
you
disconnected.
from the land of cheese.
Oppressed? What the fuck?
He's finally.
It's real.
Oh, the question, Perp, is not to cut off Stevie's love for me because I appreciate it. What's a bowl?
Just another way of saying boy.
I was thinking
It's
that
an
another
East
way.
Coast thing.
No,
Can
see,
you
I was
pronounce that for me then in your East Coast vernacular?
Bull.
Okay. I'm not black enough.
Are we talking about cereal now? I'm hearing
No.
bowl.
That's bowl.
No, we're talking about
Spoon.
Proper Jeremy asking Perp about his name.
Oh, okay.
Like, you understand his name, don't you, Stevie?
As in perp.
No, as in what he has written on the screen right now.
Oh, I can't see it. I read that
that's
as
fantastic.
I read that as bowel.
That's
Like
awesome.
bowel,
You know
like
that
bowel,
Perp.
bowel movement or something. Like, that's what I.
Oh. No, Squirrel, you can't say "oh shit" when he says that. That's not
It's
nice.
all tied together.
Oh, it's all coming together tonight on the stream.
Proper has another super chat. And
Oh.
go ahead, PB.
I'm gonna put Perp in a square-shaped Tupperware in spite.
Okay, so wacky shenanigans aside,
I want to murder people in video games.
I agree. Let's go.
And
to
I
that.
need ads to tell me about the games.
So
Or else what
IGN.
would I know what they're trying to fucking sell?
So look at this. The good folks at IGN, the people who fucking report video games. Jesus. Walmart reportedly removing violent game ads will still sell guns. Despite the lack of evidence, video games cause violence.
Jesus.
Walmart is
Sorry.
reportedly
Oh, shit.
removing signs and displays, even video game demos that showcase violence. This follows the mass shooting at Walmart Supercenter in El Paso, Texas on August 3rd, 2019. Vice reported that Walmart employees received memos from corporate headquarters asking for the immediate removal of signing and displaying referencing violence. A picture of the alleged memo shared on Twitter is telling employees to remove your store for your signing or displays that contain violent images or aggressive behavior. Remove from the sales floor or turn off these items immediately. So look, it's
Turning
got a
me
little
off.
controller with the world
No.
that.
No.
Okay. No, I don't want
Why is your audio coming from a 1940s squawk?
It's because I didn't share the audio. The memo says that this includes turning off or unplugging video game display units with demos of violence games, specifically PlayStation and Xbox units, and to cancel any events promoting combat style or third-person shooting games that may be scheduled in electronics. Wow. The removal of violent images in Walmart stores also extend to movies and hunting season videos.
Wait, what?
In sporting goods sections. However, Walmart has publicly stated that it will not ban the sale of guns following the mass shooting. On August 3rd, a 21-year-old man killed 22 people and wounded 24 at a Walmart in El Paso, Texas. A day later, leading
He's a psycho. Sorry.
leading Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy told reporters that video games were to blame for the mass shootings in El Paso and Daytona. Now,
he's stupid. Sorry.
For clarity, Jamie Vick is asking, are they going to stop selling the games? I don't believe so.
I was just about
Oh,
to say
no.
No,
It's just about the ads from what I could tell.
yeah, because if they did, they take away their fucking revenue.
And there's also super chat really quick in there. One last one from Proper.
Oh shit! Hold
Sorry.
on.
Just sorry before
No,
before
I
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
looking at that. Oh, $100. One last one. If Perp is a bowl, that should give me permission to pour milk and cereal on him.
no.
Hey, no, bro. Retract that statement.
No retractions.
This thing's fucking stupid. It's like imagine if Dana White came out and he was like, "Now we're gonna remove all violent ads whilst we're showing our UFC Octagon challenge."
Or
Death
it'd be
match.
like, oh, no, you guys can't kick each other in the head no more. You should only punch.
You're
No,
only
no, they
allowed
would-
to You're only allowed to tickle each other with feather dusters.
No, the ads would consist of them just showing the people standing in their corner, like before they fight. It would show them sitting on the stool in between rounds, and then they would absolutely, because they would have lost all of the punches, kicks, chokes, everything,
Ooh.
they would have to flash them titties. Every single ring girl would be in the commercial.
Well, I like
That's what they would have to do. Well, I
So
mean, they
these
were
are-
shying away from that for commercials because, they can just show you somebody getting punched in the face and you're like, you know what? I will watch more of that. But if
Yes.
they're just showing you two guys standing in an octagon, standing on opposite sides of it, you're like, no.
Just really quickly, I've got to go, and I should go now.
Well,
'cause
at
I
least
think,
we were able to talk to each other, Stevie.
I know I just would have felt so empty inside if I didn't get to hear your voice today.
Me too. Although I could hear you the entire time.
All right. Well, it's been good talking to everybody. Thank you for having me
Bye,
again.
Stevie J.
See you, man.
Have a good day.
Talk to you later.
Good
And
night,
I
sir.
shall lurk.
What? Oh, mother.
Are you gonna let somebody in here? Who's he letting in here?
Oh my god.
Yep,
Oh, the proper one.
it's proper,
The proper
Jeremy.
So why did he take himself out of the show?
Because he's a dummy.
Oh,
You
no.
can do that? You can do
Yeah,
that?
he can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can do that. Oh,
Oh,
God.
motherfucker.
Now
Jamie
he's gonna
Vick
just
says,
fuck with the god.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go
Jamie
ahead.
Vick says in chat, let's not talk about flat-chested women again.
Again?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
He just said kneel
good
before Zod. Oh
Yeah,
god.
exactly. That's what I was gonna
Oh.
say. He's gonna fuck with the banners now,
It's a trap.
like a goddamn C-level villain. Yeah, exactly.
Did he try to change his voice last night or something?
What?
No, that was Chris Knight.
Oh, that was him? And
no,
Zod
that's
just
Chris Knight
bowed
hitting his
out?
button.
No, did Zod like bow out or something? Because I
I
didn't
don't
see him.
know. Like, he's doing a whole bunch. No, fuck you, Zod. He's
He
doing a
took
whole
the
bunch of
camera off for a
ridiculous
little
shit.
bit.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of like crazy stuff. Like I don't think he was like I think he left the show or something.
Because he's mad.
And
with
then he
power.
put Chris on, and all I heard was this voice like kneel before Zod. And I thought it was actually Lee. And I was like, what is this crap?
That shit was terrifying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only part of the show last night that I caught, and I was like, I'm not having
you
this. If
caught
this
the
is gonna
worst
be
part of the show.
Yeah, I was like, if this is the future of General Zod's
Sorry.
fandom zone, I'm out.
No. The real review, or at least that half of the real review, is not the future.
No, Mike Zero is the future.
Oh, that's true.
Mike Zero's in the future, according to us.
He gives
in
us
the present.
news in the future.
Fucking John
Jesus.
Teeter.
So, Proper, what do you think about this? Violence in video games is causing mass shootings, according to everyone.
Bullshit.
Mhm.
Just
No, that was
bullshit.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but after I played Grand Theft Auto, I want to smack a bitch.
Jesus Christ.
I just want to roll up in a stolen car, maybe shoot some innocent civilians, and then just smack some ladies of the night
Dude,
around.
you're supposed to like buy into the entire villain thing. You're supposed to be like, shoot some innocent civilians with my eye beams.
No,
Oh,
I
wait,
only
you
did
know-
that after The Lion King.
I was
Oh
just
my
playing
God.
GTA 5, and you know
Nice.
what it made me want to do afterwards? It made me want to go to the strip club, start a fight, get kicked out, and just walk back in, then get drunk, then try to go to my car, and then drive completely sober home.
I always like Saints Row more than GTA. It's just me.
Saints Row had that crazy car mode in the first one where it was like a cheat where you remember that? Where all the cars came after you?
Yeah,
Oh,
that shit.
beautiful.
Shit was fun.
Oh, now we're getting real serious.
No, it's all good. No, this is just an article follow-up that, there is still no link between video games and violence. And it says, do video games trigger violent behavior? Scientific studies have found no link, but the persistent theory is back in the headlines following Saturday's mass shooting in El Paso and obviously in Daytona.
Which political party, again, is getting their panties in a wad over this?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Really? Is it really both of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I remember a while ago, like I don't know, maybe like 15 years ago. No, like more like 10 years ago. You remember when Bully came out?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a fun game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
it was.
I remember that all these conservatives. One particularly in Florida, his name was Jack, and he was a douchebag. And this this guy went out of his way to complain to the ESRB, the rating system, and say like, Bully's rated teen, right? Well, there are dudes kissing, right? And they're like, yeah, we know. We rated it T for teen. It's fine. And he was just like, that was the most vile thing that you could ever do, is kiss a dude. Oh my God, it's so horrible. Oh, the humanity.
And the right has actually been the one that passed the majority of the time to go to video games. I know that it's come up also under the Democrats at one. I think it was under Clinton for a short time too, that they were going after the video games too.
Yeah, but I
Yep.
just remember censorship being such a conservative issue.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like all these
That's-
right-wing weirdos being triggered about video game violence.
Right.
Just like, why are liberals going on their side? Why is the party who used to be my tribe, going on there? Like, come on,
Don't
guys.
presidents go out hunting?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody?
Yep. And shoot
Doesn't
each other.
Dick Cheney shot somebody, didn't he?
Yeah, it's like a
I was gonna
tornado.
say
or something.
the current
by
president
accident.
goes hunting for something a little different.
Whenever he enters a room, everyone just shouts "duck."
You know, I want to just say something while we're bringing up Dick Cheney. That motherfucker did not shoot that guy on accident. I'm sorry. I call total
I
bullshit.
thought he was gonna
Yeah,
say on
OJ didn't do it
purpose.
either.
Yeah. You know, he didn't get a bill passed, and he was like, "Yeah, let's go quail hunting, Tom." And Tom was fucking
Damn quail hunting.
He's like, "Oh, it's to my left." Whoops.
In the article, it goes on to say, and online, the reason, a lot of people have asked me recently about this, like, how did this all of a sudden come up? Well, it's because the online manifesto, thought to be authored by the gunman, briefly mentioned the combat game Call of Duty. Then the president weighed in, charging
Duty.
Monday that gruesome and grisly video games contribute to a glorification of violence. So that's kind of where all this connected and started all over again.
Instead of letting the cops do their fucking job and determine what actually caused it, let's just blame everything else like we normally do.
Right. So Trump's statements were more reserved and compared with his last brush with the subject in 2018, when he called video games vicious and summoned a game industry executives to meet at the White House, to little lasting effect. The Entertainment Software Association, the biggest video game trade group, reiterated its position that there is no causal connection between video games and violence. Quote, more than 165 million Americans enjoyed video games and billions of people play video games worldwide, the group said in a statement. Yet other societies where video games are played as avidly do not contend with the tragic levels of violence that occur in the United States. Activision Blizzard did not immediately respond to a request for comment about Call of Duty. And so it just goes into more of the research, and, because they were checking everything out, and they did different studies through different universities. And there's a quote here. Plenty of gamers, let's see, plenty of gamers, I'm going to say this was an error, plenty of gamers get upset when they lose or feel the game was cheating, but it doesn't lead to violent outputs, he said. Was just one of the professors of this particular article, which I'll link in the chat room. But it's come up over and over again. In 2013, after the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newton, Connecticut, Vice President Joe Biden held 3 days of wide-ranging talks on gun violence prevention, including a meeting with the video game industry executives. After the 2013 meetings wrapped, the White House called on research on the effect of media and video games on gun violence, but nothing substantial came out of that. Quote, politicians on both sides go after video games. It is this weird unifying force, Markey said. It makes them look like they are doing something. I think that's a very good
It seriously does. I mean, that's You know what's even worse is when these left-wing weirdos went after video games, specifically Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption 2. Do you remember that one video where you could throw the woman's suffragette and feed her to an alligator?
Absolutely, that was a hilarious video.
Oh, it was so great. Dragged her for miles.
You could do that to
miles and miles, punched her in the face, fed her to an alligator. Brilliant video.
And
that YouTube channel got taken down.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? How could you possibly say like, oh, video games are violent, and be like on opposing sides sometimes? Where's the consistency in this?
Right. And one of the things that I thought was interesting is the reason why I like this article, because it went over the rating system. Remember all this rating crap they went through in the 90s? Where they were like, oh, you can't get this. It's not E for everyone. Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, no, it got worse. It got worse after the 90s.
Oh,
you had to show an ID to prove that you were 17. Oh, my God. For a fucking Call of Duty game. And I swear, you could look up this, whatever laws were implemented. Hillary Clinton is mentioned somewhere. My disliking of her started a very long time ago, and it was mostly because of that.
Right.
I'm just like, I'll just be honest, and this is going to be very improper of me, but back then I was just like, so you're the bitch who's the reason why I can't buy Halo by myself without mom. Like, what the fuck? How dare you? How dare you? Why can't I play all these video games with my friends?
Right.
You suck.
Because you're a child.
Because you're a child. No, I can drive a fucking car and accidentally kill someone if I'm not careful enough because I'm a teenager.
Can't handle a video game.
Oh my goodness. And I can't watch an R-rated movie that has 2 F-bombs in it. Oh, God.
Well, fuck.
So
I've gotten carded twice, but
the article goes on and says, following an outcry over violent games such as 1992's Mortal Kombat, the Entertainment Software Association created ratings boards in 1994 to assign ratings from E for everyone to adults only for 18 and older. The ratings suggest an age range and describe the possible objectionable features, like the mature rating, for example, indicates the game is generally suitable for ages 17 and up and may have intense violence, blood, gore, and sexual content and or strong language. So in 2011, the Supreme Court rejected a California law banning the sale of violent video games to children. The decision found that video games, like other media, are protected by the First Amendment. So there's the article. But it was just, I thought it was interesting because this is getting thrown right back in the media again. This is such a long-term old argument, and it's been beaten to death already. So the fact that he mentions the video game in his alleged manifesto doesn't mean shit. I mean, you can blame. He could have blamed the Teletubbies, and they'd be freaking out at this point. But of course, they would all go back to something. They just want something to blame aside from the obvious. I don't know, the state of the mental health industry, or pharmaceuticals, or the general, what do you call it, instigation through the media. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff.
Would they have even mentioned a manifesto if it was just about all of those reasons that you just listed, except for the Teletubbies? Actually, if it were the Teletubbies, it'd make front page news.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it would go like straight to the. He wouldn't even go to jail. He would go to an insane asylum.
Yeah, it's not a big enough story if we're talking about just one crazy person. But if we can stir up the political talk, now it's a story.
Really quick, Jamie Vick, actually, she's correct. The censorship issue was actually started by Tipper Gore. Wasn't it regarding music, and then it just kind of blew out on everything? Like it went into video games too. It was elaborated together.
Oh yeah, all that rock and roll rubbish. All this rock and roll music is doing this and that and causing all our teenagers to smoke pot and take drugs and stuff. Like, no, it's not. unless you are gonna go see the Grateful Dead, then
I remember like Tipper Gore losing her shit over the Nirvana cover.
Oh yeah.
oh the
I remember that.
the baby
utero.
penis, yeah.
Well,
Oh,
no,
in utero?
in utero, because they had a bunch of like
What?
art. Oh yeah, there was a bunch of art. Of like it was like the inside
Oh,
out of
that
the
wasn't a
female and the front.
problem for anybody in my family at
No.
all. Like, not. I thought all the controversy was over the baby penis album. Never mind.
Well, they went after all Nirvana. Like,
Oh, well, I mean that the nudity. I understand that entirely. Like, that's not even a question. Like, okay, I get that. You can never do that today. Fine, but in utero, what was wrong with that?
well, the cover had the inside, like it was like the muscle tissue and the inner workings of a woman, right? And then the inside they had babies and stuff like that. And it wasn't. They were saying it was promoting abortion, which it was not.
There were babies inside of a woman, and that's it.
No, there was with the whole the cover itself, it had like an angel / nude, but it was like the inside organs of a female standing like an angel, and then the inside had fetuses and babies, but it wasn't like crudely done by any means. It was just part of the that goes with the album title and all that shit. So she was getting into that. Oh, that's offensive. That's promoting abortion. Rah, And then they went after everything. They went after rap music. They went after anything that was like, I think Ice-T was around that time.
Oh, body count.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking at In Utero right now. Okay, it just looked like something I'd see in science class.
Right, exactly. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, wow, that's really offensive. But you know how it gets. When they're looking to censor something, it's like they'll reach.
But then, yeah, some people would argue In Utero, baby meaning, I don't know. In utero, a Latin term meaning, it just in the womb. Okay.
Right. That's all. Yeah.
In the womb, and it shows biology.
Right.
Yay. Abortion, that's a real stretch.
It was just this extreme behavior.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, they can make the connection. Oh, in utero, the words are outside of the body. And that, and the cover shows a lady with her, you can see inside of her body and the words are outside. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So I actually had to try to make that connection. But my God, you really have to try and go out of your way to make these sort of connections. Like when it's just like, okay, it's a title and it's a picture, whatever.
And honestly, even like for her was, all these different things about violence and lyrics and violence and all these things, especially.
And more lyrics.
Right. And
that make songs.
The right was unifying on it too. So it was like that happened then too about the music industry. That's why they had all like the parental advisors. I remember having to have friends buy me albums. It sucked. I was like,
you had to do that? Seriously?
Yep. Yeah, so like a few of the places I used to get stuff at, I couldn't get Primus. I couldn't buy certain albums because of cursing, and it had all the the little flags on there. And some places didn't care, but I went to a couple like back in the day, like the what do you want to call it, the warehouse, stuff like that, and they would card you. And I'm like, over a stupid album, really? So yeah, it was.
Oh, that had to suck because
it did.
I mean. You must have been pretty envious when you found out that kids can just rip them all off of YouTube or something, or from online, or like whatever sort of like that you could find a way like to do this. Like no matter where you are, you could illegally download this so easily. Like in the early 2000s, or you can. Yeah, or you can like listen to them for free, like on here. Like we don't have to pay for them anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, back when I was coming up, Napster. Got all my music.
LimeWire. Yeah.
Yep.
LimeWire shit.
That was a beautiful thing when that came out. It was
the thing. Oh yeah, and you can even watch them on demand on YouTube now, and you don't have to wait for them on the radio at all. It's just like this is the perfect time to listen to new music. And you don't have to pay a dime for any of it. Any of it.
I know. But then I relish in those days of walking through a store, you know what I mean, and looking for music or trying to
Yeah.
find new
They
music.
don't
and-
know about that.
I know.
The
It's
record
like, but
store.
those were the days of that kind of cool shit. And then you would
Yeah,
meet people too.
We
you
got
know?
like one FYE still open, and like
Oh, FYE. I would scroll for hours there.
like they overpriced the fuck out of their products there. I'm like, bro, you're not selling shit in here when you try to charge like $40 for a goddamn Blu-ray. Like, nah.
God, man. We still have one out here, but it's like we have to travel to go to it. But yeah, I love that store, even though
They
they're
just shut.
ridiculous.
They just shut down this one place that's like literally like down the street from me called Tunes. So like all records and stuff. They got vinyls, they got DVDs, like old ass DVDs, some
crazy.
Blu-rays, and they just shut that place down. It's been there for like the longest.
I'm trying to remember, was it Suncoast? There was like a place called Suncoast Records. or
Yep,
something.
Suncoast. I remember
And
Suncoast.
movies.
West
Oh,
Coast
man.
Video.
That place was awesome because you could find out like a lot of rare stuff in there too.
I just realized something. Pulp changed his name. He's no longer a bull.
Yeah, that's why he left.
Congratulations.
You didn't notice that?
No,
I
I mean,
became a
I wasn't looking at the name. Just so that he came back.
No, like that's the only reason he leaves.
Is to change his name again?
Yeah.
Actually, like I closed out the browser.
Oh,
You quote style
That does
of browser. Krispy Kreme and Reese's Lunch, peanut butter. Man.
oh shit, son.
Yeah, when I
That's
finally
what's
got
up.
into it, I waited all this time for PB to jump in. So
You
I could talk
goddamn
about
right you fucking waited for this shit.
Is this your way for us to move on?
Yes. So,
What a
We're gonna
smooth
look- we're gonna
transition.
look at a
The
mood.
professionalism is real.
Yay.
so the Krispy
Indeed.
Kreme line.
But have you found out how to change our avatars to like real ones?
They are not
I
set
haven't
up for it
waited.
No,
yet.
we're in beta. We're waiting
Yeah.
for this duck to mature.
Hey, General,
Yeah,
you have a super chat.
Oh,
We have 4 super chats. Oh, I meant super chats
from Lonely
for you.
Gander. Thumbnail title: America the Terrifying or America the Terrified? Oh, that is deep.
That's a good question.
Wow. Both.
You can't. What do
Wow.
you mean, both? Fucking Terrence. God damn it.
Terrence,
I like the
Like it's an
terrified one.
either or.
I can't choose.
There are 5 people here. Unless people in the chat are also voting. Are they voting, LB?
yeah.
Cool.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So are we America the Terrified or America the Terrified? Or, I mean, no, the Terrified or the Terrifying?
Question of our lives.
I think I'm going to have to agree with Squirrel.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
No, like he's asking for a video.
I think the terrified is good.
All right. That works.
That'll get more Americans to click on it. Out of
And
rage.
maybe-
Oh, we're watching a video? Oh, I thought he was posing a question this whole time.
And then Matt's
Yeah,
Mama
it's a
Bear
question.
says, Matt's Mama Bear in things chat says both, depending on what side of the border. Ha!
I'll go with that one. That's a good one.
No, you can't steal her joke.
No, I like
It's a
it.
joke.
I
Yeah,
like
liked
it.
too.
Yeah,
Thank you, everybody.
that'll be my answer.
No, that's like stealing a joke, though.
No,
like,
it's
I
not.
like
It's
it as
not
a
my
joke. I
joke.
laugh.
It's not, no, I like
Like,
it as
you
a
can't
joke
say
too.
that's also my answer. You can't say both because depending on what side of the border, ha ha ha.
Well, it's not
No,
really
she said that.
necessarily the ha ha ha,
Oh,
but
it
it's
wasn't
like,
a joke.
Oh, it was
Oh.
not a joke.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
no.
I mean, it's clear. It's clear that a lot of citizens of nations, not they will fear us, or like not necessarily, but they'll envy us, or they'll look at us with bright eyes, just be like, "Oh, you're the Americans, hi," or either treat you a certain way, but sometimes it's a little strange. But
I'm
if you,
terrified of the avocado shortage too.
I mean, not to mention,
I give up. Even I'm not gonna. I'm not. No. Mm-mm.
not to mention,
That's
they
my
have
answer from earlier. That's my answer. I don't care. Fuck it.
So, Krispy Kreme and Reese's
Donuts.
launch peanut butter cup flavored donuts for a limited time.
Donuts.
It's about goddamn time.
Now, I
No
don't know
shit,
how I
right?
feel about that, because when they do
No, you got to
these
zoom in on that fucking picture, you sumbitch.
when they do these deals, I don't like how they do
More.
the peanut butter cup filling. It can be a
More.
little bit too rich. God damn, man, this is as far as I can go.
I don't believe you.
I have another photo I'll send.
You want to be in the donut?
I do. If they can make, I totally want to go Iron Man 2 on that motherfucker.
Please don't put your wang in that donut. It'll ruin it for the rest of us.
Well, I mean, technically his wang was in the donut, man. He had his entire goddamn body in that donut. Sir, can you please come down from the donut?
It'll just give cream filling a whole new meaning.
That's true.
Krispy Kreme donuts options just got even more indulgent. The chain teamed up with Reese's to launch 2 new peanut butter cup flavored treats available for a limited time starting Monday. The different donuts are centered to sugar fiends like PD.
Sugar friends.
You said friends? Did he really just say friends?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not looking at it at all, but I read this article about 5 times, so I know what the word is, and that's fucking hilarious.
Sugar friends.
It's not friends.
I was looking.
There's no R in that
I
word.
was looking at a text from someone.
Just imagine Zod just looking at a plate full of cocaine. It's just like,
We're
my
the
sugar friends. Sugar friends. Get in my belly.
Jesus. Who have a strong preference for either the chocolate or peanut butter parts of the famous Reese's cup candy.
I'm just waiting for him to read the flavors off.
The Reese's filled chocolate lovers donut. That's a mouthful. Is a chocolate Krispy Kreme original.
Cream filled mouthful.
Donut filled with Reese's peanut butter cream dipped in chocolate fudge icing and decorated with Reese's peanut butter icing drizzle. Jesus Christ, that's diabetes and a
icing drizzle. The word drizzle sold me.
And the Reese's original filled peanut butter lovers donut is a chocolate original glazed donut filled with chocolate peanut butter cream dipped in Reese's peanut butter icing and decorated with a chocolate icing drizzle.
Yeah, you just read that.
No, this was the other donut.
No, he didn't. They're just really similar. It's ridiculous. I read both of them.
Chocolate.
My mind melted. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to look at the pictures.
It's more entertaining.
Krispy Kreme's latest sweets follow up the company's permanent launch of cream-filled original glazed donuts in classic cream and chocolate cream flavors in June. Our latest co-creation with Reese's is our best yet. If the technology exists to fill a Krispy Kreme donut with Reese's peanut butter cup cream and chocolate cream, then how could we not offer that to America? Well, it does. So we are. And it's amazing.
We salute you.
Chief of Marketing for Krispy Kreme said in a statement, the Reese's donut will offer by the dozen, individual or in a 2-pack box made to resemble the 2-cup packaging of Reese's peanut butter cups. This isn't the first time the donut and candy giants have joined forces. Back in the summer of 2017, Krispy Kreme debuted a limited-time donuts filled with Reese's peanut butter cream and topped with chocolate icing, chocolate peanut butter drizzle, Reese's mini peanut butter chips, and peanuts.
Where the fuck was I at that point? God
I don't
damn
know,
it.
man. I don't remember that.
Internet, you have failed me.
Right.
Motherfucker. But yeah, this looks goddamn delicious.
I could have swore Dunkin' Donuts did something like this already, but
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Investigating. They did a Reese's coffee.
Ooh.
yeah, I can't fuck with no Krispy Kreme. I'll be hearing
See,
horror
I've
stories.
seen this. I've seen this before. They,
What do you
I know
mean?
they made a
What?
whipped cream.
Well, at least the ones around me, yo, they be getting shut down like a motherfucker, like health
Dude.
issues,
I
all
mean,
that shit.
you live in New Jersey, bruh.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And
Like
they
you're in like
Oh.
the cesspool of America.
You know what?
put the one
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme.
Perp is right.
They put the Krispy Kreme one of the Krispy Kremes in the hood and shit. I was like,
Herb,
bruh.
would you just be quiet for a moment and let the lady tell you how you're right?
Really quick. Sorry, Zod.
No, go ahead.
I meant to pull it up, but then I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, he is right. This actually did happen at one point. Back in 2015, they did a sweet fall harvest for Dunkin' Donut lovers. They introduced a new Reese's peanut butter squares and pumpkin cheesecake squares,
Oh
What the
God.
fuck?
and
Pumpkin
it was
cheese.
a seasonal thing they did in 2015.
I love cheesecake.
So
Fuck,
it says the
what
Hershey
was I
Company.
doing?
Let's see, the first time Dunkin' Donuts has partnered with the Hershey Company to put the taste of creamy chocolate and Reese's peanut butter together in one tasty treat with the new Reese's peanut butter square. For pumpkin fans looking to celebrate blah, 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 bullshit. They introduced pumpkin cheesecake squares. And it was only for a limited time. It started in August 31st, and they did it through the holiday season. So yes, Perp was correct. They had
Yeah.
Dunkin' Donuts, like little donuts with
They can keep the
Reese's.
cheesecake.
That looks awesome.
Oh, the
And-
cheesecake.
Zoom
is
in on that
glorious.
picture, guy.
Let me see if I can.
I like the brownie batter. The brownie batter shit is fire.
That's
the
about as
picture.
close as I'm gonna get. Oh shit. Oh.
Oh, this
Hold
is
on.
Mad Squirrel screen?
Yeah, I'm trying to move it. I have to use. Let's see if I can do it better.
Oh.
Man, just let me.
I didn't know that we could screen share your
There you
screen
go.
like this.
You have a
Because
nice
when Zod did it previously, he was doing it like a fucking putz.
Here's your close up. So
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
that looks good.
I want that one. Oh,
Look at that crumble in the background. That's
Right?
that's what I'm
beautiful.
saying.
That looks good. So yeah, there's
Oh.
Perp's donut. Dude, I had no idea they did this.
Yeah,
They've done
he's-
a lot
yeah.
of different type of donuts. I always go in there. They're doing some different shit.
That's evil.
That is
No, I
glorious.
got, unfortunately, the closest Dunkin' Donuts to me is in the town that Zod is in.
Not for
crazy.
me. It's a hop, skip, and
But
jump.
I do have a friend coming up from down there this weekend. Hopefully he's bringing the donuts.
Oh yeah,
Like
here you go.
they just built a Dunkin' Donuts like a couple minutes away from me and shit. I'm like, bro,
They built everything a couple of minutes away from you. You're in Jersey.
yeah.
Here's a
What
close
don't
up.
you have a couple minutes away from you? What was that, Squirrel?
Here's a close up of the picture.
clean water.
That's true. That's
Oh
true.
my.
Don't fuck with that tap shit. That shit look trash. That shit look like trash.
What do you mean? It's a chocolate glazed donut.
Nah.
So this is the chocolate
If you
lovers.
zoom all the way in, you can see the glaze.
It literally look like some dookie. Like
Like, if your dookie looks like that, you need to eat something made of
All right.
meat.
All right. No more.
Yeah, like, we're talking donuts. We ain't talking poo. Like, what is your favorite donut, LB?
I don't have one.
vanilla.
What?
Vanilla. What
Lonely
the-
vanilla.
I usually get the glaze, man. Like, I don't
you gotta get a-
discriminate, man. As long as it ain't got like coconut on it or some
Yeah,
Oh,
butter
good choice.
pecan mist, I'm good.
facts.
Well, I meant like me personally. My favorite is a custard-filled Long John with chocolate icing.
A what?
Custard-filled Long John.
Oh, we talking about? Oh, you disgusting pervert!
He's very
That's a real thing?
disgusting. That's a real thing.
Oh, that's just.
That's suspect.
I walk in back into this conversation. We're talking about custard-filled Long Johns.
How do you not know what that is,
Disgusting.
proper Jeremy?
That is disgusting.
You ain't never heard of
How
you ain't never heard of that before?
Dare you? Where do you think the
No.
name comes from? You sick fuck! What are you?
the
What are you talking about?
Talking about donuts, you son of a bitch.
What kind of
Where
donuts
do you
are
think the name comes from? It's disgusting.
A tasty donut?
Which part of the name?
Oh, ugh, never mind.
Explain it to me, oh wise one.
Oh, Long Johns. Oh, wise one. Back when you were like, I don't know, 10 years old, Long Johns were a thing. And those used to be those things where you get. It's like pajamas, except they were plain and white and like plaid or something, or like whatever. They were just ordinary, like one-colored clothing, and you would go to bed in them as a child. Sometimes you would wear it like underwear, except you would wear it on your whole damn body.
Yeah, that's what you wear when you go hunting.
Those
You
are
don't wear it
Long
when you go to
Johns.
bed, you weirdo.
Kids did in pajamas.
No, I was a child.
Yeah,
You
that's
wear
why
that
you
when you
stopped
went to
wearing them.
bed.
That's why you stopped wearing them as a child, because they became out of style.
No,
Finally.
that's not why. I never wore them when I went to bed as a child. I wore them when it was cold in Wisconsin.
I don't believe you for a second.
what the
Okay, okay.
This is getting out of hand. I can't.
What's your favorite kind of donut, proper Jeremy?
The donut hole.
Okay, so then what flavor? What flavor then?
I don't know if you were actually saying that truthfully.
I just decided to say donut hole just to see Zod's reaction
that
and look.
worked. Yep.
It was worth it.
And I will leave it at that. I'm not even going to give a real answer. Just that.
Oh
Bastard.
my.
Man, Squirrel, what's your favorite donut?
Oh well, I like the chocolate eclairs, and I do like the Long Johns. I don't even give a damn.
Oh, those are donuts.
Yeah.
I would say an eclair is
I
a
love
donut.
chocolate eclairs. I like them when they're cold and frozen.
Yes.
Oh, those are good.
Oh,
Yes, that's
oh,
when
I know
they're
what you're
the
talking
Custard in
about.
them. Delicious.
Yep.
Maybe Vic,
Absolutely.
but
The Bavarian cream. Boom.
My a friend of mine thought that it would be like, hey, he was kind of stupid. He said, hey, if you think that if we took the dog poop from outside and put it in the freezer, could we pull it off? I was like, no, you idiot. He said, why not? Why don't we try it? Like, because you put it next to the other ones, it'll ruin them. Plus, the freezer will smell like dog shit. Obviously, and apparently that's an oversight that he had. His freezer would smell like shit.
In a chat,
He wasn't a bright fella.
Mega Jetty One says my favorite donut is chocolate glazed. Yeah, I agree. Anything with chocolate's usually pretty tasty, except for dog shit. So, yay!
Yeah.
yeah, I like
Like,
bear claws.
You like
okay.
what?
Bear claws.
Oh, I thought you said menopause for a second. I was like, what?
Wow.
He likes menopause.
That is a new style of donut filled with a range of temperatures.
Or a range of emotions. The weight,
Right?
emotional weight.
You mushed
Oh
up.
no!
That's John Campia's favorite donut.
Hail Hydra.
Oh,
Oh.
no! Don't bring her into it.
What happened with Pizza Hut?
Well, I like all
You didn't
types
even
of donuts.
wait. Did you put Jamie Vick's comment on the screen? Try
Yes.
and read it before. Give up trying to read it, and then take it off the screen without reading it.
It seems
No,
like
LB
it.
answered.
What do you mean he answered? I didn't hear him answer.
He put it in the chat.
Well, we would like
Yeah,
to
reading.
hear it if you're going to address it like this.
But you tried to read it.
He said,
Yeah,
what
read
the
it.
hell is wrong with coconut?
A lot of things.
Well,
Oh,
I love
well,
it.
weird.
Lee, why don't you answer?
I find nothing wrong with coconut, actually.
yeah, but you're a villain.
Coconut is delicious. It's one of the best things you Earthlings have.
No,
No.
it's not made for donuts.
Made for
It's
anything.
made for rum.
It's like putting pineapples on a pizza. It tastes good, but it shouldn't be on there.
What?
Oh, stop it. We're done with
There
it.
Jersey goes again.
I knew I loved Hydra Comics.
Mm.
Yep, I was just gonna say.
Oh,
Oh, there's
Hydra
Mega Jetty too.
become instant buddy.
Yes. Where were they when we were talking about this yesterday?
Yep. Stuffed crust, pizza. You missed the whole conversation
I
where
had
he
nobody backing up my cheese love.
he avidly defended stuffed crust pizza.
So
Jamie
would
Vick
you
says
eat
her.
a...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, so I was gonna ask PB, would you eat a donut filled with cheese?
Oh no.
I mean,
What type of cheese?
Yeah, that's important.
Cream cheese? Yes.
Yep.
Like
I'm in.
American cheese or
Jersey
something.
Hell no.
cheese.
Oh,
Jersey cheese.
well, is the cheese melt?
No.
Like, is this a warm donut or is this a cold donut?
No, it's just like a solid brick of cheese. With
Would
dough.
you
So, like,
God.
somebody cut off some chunks of cheese, wrap some dough around it, and then put some icing on it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd
Would
try
you-
it.
Would you eat a block of cheese?
Dude, I've eaten many a block of cheese without cutting any slices.
Yep, I did too when I was drunk.
Oh my god.
Like,
Jamie.
you kidding me?
Savage.
Like, you go ahead, Squirrel.
Jamie Vick in chat says that her favorite Dunkin'. Hold on. My favorite is Dunkin' Donuts sugar coated donuts. Those are good. Oh, the Munchkins, like the little donut hole Munchkins, or the full size donuts. You remember the what are they called? Munchkins? Those little round donut holes.
With donut holes.
So,
My favorite kind of donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts does a straight, like, sugar coating, like the donuts at the Chinese food buffet.
I think we broke Zod again.
Giggling about.
Donut hole.
Why is that so funny?
You ever tried
Oh, I would get pissed off at someone at work and just be like, "You're a donut hole."
that?
Are you thinking about who
Also
that is
had-
right now?
God
Jamie
damn,
Vick,
that's so
I
funny.
also had pizza for dinner. Mine was homemade pizza that my mother-in-law made. It was awesome.
I'm about to have some pizza for breakfast. I'm hungry. So
I'm about to have
piece that's left
one
over.
of my sausage croissant sandwiches.
you would like a
Cheddar
sausage
cheese.
sandwich.
This motherfucker, I tell you what. Okay, so all of you guys get off of the freaking live stream and we're talking in the Google Hangouts. And I go, so, do you like freaking muffins, biscuits, or croissants? And he goes, oh, I get the sausage, egg, and cheese.
The Paris answer.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Which one?
Um,
I was like, really? I ask you a bread question and you answer everything except for the question I pose?
Maybe he was
Son of a
drunk.
bitch.
Did you understand that perhaps he was drunk?
No, he wasn't drunk.
Nah, I was sober.
Oh, it was you.
Yep.
Yeah, I was talking to Zod.
Hey, Mads
Oh.
Mama Bear says in chat, closest I like to donuts is beaver tails. I know what those are.
What?
I've had those before. They're
You
really
mean
good.
Wait, what's that?
Actual beaver tail?
Hold on, I'll pull it up. Doo-doo-doo.
Is that actual beaver tail? Like,
Picture
that's nice.
time.
Yeah.
No, we will vamp
No.
until Mad Squirrel gets the picture, and then she'll share it with us. And then Zod will put her full screen, and it'll be glorious.
It's actually really tasty. To
Oh,
me, it reminds
Hydra
me of like an
Comics.
elephant ear in a way, but it's not. It's very different.
Okay.
Um,
Hydra Comics says he prefers kolaches. I know exactly what those are because I'm a quarter Danish, and they're fucking delicious.
kolaches.
The real question is, what flavor kolaches, Hydra? What flavor?
Okay, so here is, if it'll let me. This is the beaver tail, the Canadian donut. Oh man, so you can put all types of toppings
Whoa.
on it.
Yo,
Is that fucking Oreos?
That's fucking
Yeah,
you're going
yeah,
to
Oreos.
immediately shit
Sold.
yourself after eating that.
So
Automatically.
what is the dough?
Oh my god.
The recipe is sweet indulgence came from a German Canadian grandmother who would make the bread for breakfast and top it with cinnamon, sugar, butter, and jam, or butter and honey. And she called the deep fried dough kikla, or all those other words I can't say. A German dish, which means little cake. They used his grandmother's this particular man. His last name is Hooker. Grant Hooker. Okay.
I love Grant.
I'll grant you a hooker.
Exactly. Grant Hooker and his wife used his grandmother's recipe and began to make fried dough themselves using clotheslines to stretch the dough in old propane water heaters that float cooked the dough in oil. The couple decided to sell the treats for the first time in 1978 at a crafting community fair, embracing a return to its roots with an emphasis of back to the land counterculture. And this is what they look like. Oh, I'd eat that.
So what my dad does, like when I was younger, he makes these like fried dough things. I used to call them I named them. I call them favorites and whatnot. And just like mad banging. Like you can put cheese on them, or you could just put like jelly on it and shit. Like it's banging.
That's cool. Yes, yes, please.
I am fucking getting something to eat after this.
So that's the name of the restaurant.
That looks like a cheesesteak.
How big is that thing?
Looks huge. Looks like a sub.
So
beaver
no shit,
tail.
right? Yeah, it's as big as a beaver tail, exactly.
It's beautiful.
So,
what? And that's a shake in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I have one
Yummy.
question. Just one question.
Bullshit.
If Grant made this, correct? If so, does that make his mother an actual hooker?
Yeah.
Would it be accurate to say?
Possibly, yes.
100%.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's a true blood hooker though, because she obviously married.
She has hooker blood.
She's a married
no,
hooker.
but his grandma had to been a hooker. Like somebody had to been a hooker.
Oh yeah.
Got that hooker blood.
His dad was
like
the
if
hooker.
there was only men and they just kept on marrying women, like this is a very sad story.
Grandpa hooker. There's a grandpa hooker.
Right?
In there.
All grandpa hookers.
Was it
like, no.
Maybe one of Shatner's grandkids called him Grandpa Hooker.
Matt's Mama Bear in chat said it's about the size of a dinner plate.
Holy fuck.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I might have to split
And
that
they
with
just
somebody.
put
Like,
totally random shit on it, hey? It's just like donuts, essentially.
That shit gonna destroy your stomach. It might feel good going down, but that shit gonna destroy
No, man. Not my stomach. This is
Matt's
years
Mama
of
Bear also says,
Wisconsin
"Come to
work
Toronto."
put in.
Man, I've had one of those before. I was outside of Toronto, but we were at Marineland a long time ago, and we stopped by somewhere and they had some beaver tails. I was like, I don't mind if I do eat that giant elephant ear looking thing. That's fine.
Yep. Fuck yeah.
And it was good. It was like with sugar, brown sugar, the one I had, and honey. So it's kind of like sopapillas, but obviously thicker bread, much tastier, a lot more to eat. So.
Hydra Comics, but what's the news on Raid Area 51 and hashtag clap them cheeks?
Clapping on the Clap on the cheeks?
No, those are both funnier if you say pound in front of them.
Pound, clap them cheeks.
Don't put a giant fucking pause, but whatever.
Pound clap?
Yeah, pound clap. Or pound raid Area 51.
Oh my.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna leave before we get further into this.
You don't want to talk about aliens?
Oh, I want to talk about aliens, but maybe sometime later.
Okay, well, it's been,
Wow.
I don't know, a solid 5 to 10 seconds later, so you should be ready.
All right, lay it on me.
Okay,
So, the latest news. Hold on.
Oh, damn it. I thought that he was going to be ready to lay some actual news on you, but he wasn't ready for anything.
my god.
I bet Mad Squirrel
No,
was
those
ready with
hoping to
something.
raid
shit, he
Area
was.
51.
What
There is not enough space.
Say what?
I love
Zoom
my
in.
back-to-back coverage of this Area 51.
He's a gift that keeps on giving.
Yes, people are seriously planning to travel to Area 51 on September 20th, and Rachel, Nevada has no vacancies to prove it. The small town was shocked when they realized people were coming, and satirically suggested by a Facebook page titled Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us. The Air Force Base in the desert has spurred conspiracy theories as a UFO and alien holding site for decades.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it's gotten this much attention.
Yo, Zod, you know who's gonna be in the front line? It's gonna be Alex Jones and Jesse Ventura. Sure.
They're putting chemicals in the water to turn the frogs gay.
Yo, that's so funny.
He's gonna come with an army of gay frogs. With this on a fucking weekly basis.
Oh my god.
I just typed it in these glorious articles. This is from like a couple of days ago. However,
You people are retarded.
However, the big problem remains. If more people come, where will they stay?
They have them Airbnbs.
Rachel has a population of 54 and is surrounded by towns and deserts.
Population of 54.
They forgot to take care of a whole lot of
54 fucking people. They have to take care of these 800 people who come in.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? And not
They
all
all
of them
fucking
are in the
consultants.
hotel business. Summer jobs, kids, for the 8 kids that go to the school across the street in the schoolhouse.
Like, that might be a cult. That might be like some Manson family shit.
It's
going
like
on over there.
K through 12.
This would be an awesome movie.
We have to get them as our unpaid interns at this hotel that doesn't exist. Oh god, the whole town is going to be employed. They're not going to be able to sleep. People are going to demand room service when there isn't any to be provided.
Hey, think about this. Some people might actually just stay. Just be like, hey.
I'll just stay in the goddamn parking lot.
They're gonna have like RVs and shit.
As if they're waiting for Woodstock to happen.
It's gonna be like that movie Contact with all these fools outside of the gates.
The town.
Yeah,
this gets better.
I've changed my mind. I'm not gonna go there that day.
The town boasts only 4 businesses in its city limits.
Oh my god.
And the little alien is the only one that provides lodging and food.
Oh my god.
The inn is booked solid for September 20th, the day suggested the raid. The inn has 14 rooms and camping space is now the last available option. To make matters worse, oh God, Rachel's only gas station closed in 2006, so visitors will have to fill their tanks 50 miles away in Almena.
Oh my
Alamo, Nevada.
god.
Yo, I'd be selling waters for $5.
Yep.
I'd be making bank.
The next closest town.
No, then you do it 2 for $9, no change.
2 for $9, no change available.
That pissed me off.
No change. So like, yeah.
The next closest town to get lodging in
Alamo.
LMAO.
Oh my god.
Oh, god.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, you
god.
can stay there with your sugar friends.
Let's just keep watching this alien in a sombrero for some reason.
I do like him.
I do like
I
him
would
too.
definitely-
But yeah,
if I
like
was-
at first I thought it was an iguana, but I was like, nah.
If I was a millionaire, I'd be like, yeah, I definitely want that in front of my house.
Oh, the iguana? I mean the alien?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I want
An
him dancing
alien-
in front of my house.
An alien sculpture lines the side of the road in the town of Baker, California.
Oh, I've
also
seen
known
that.
as the Gateway Area 51 on March 4th, 2019. And he's going, peace. Sheriff Lee, what the fuck? Said
Hey,
that-
Lee. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
It's like a 5-foot sheriff.
4'10".
In boots.
said the normal draw for that time of year is hunting and mountain biking, but it only begins in a few hundred
Brings
tourists, even 1,000 visitors.
it only brings in a few thousand, not only begins.
I said brings.
No, you didn't.
No, I'm pretty sure I did.
There's a super chat for you there, Zon.
I can't because I'm screen sharing.
Oh.
Super chat. Say Alamo, you fucking idiot.
The Senate?
From the
Or was-
Senate.
I knew it! Even, no, the Senate. Even a thousand visitors could put a strain on emergency services. That has only 10 people.
Oh, it's gonna put a strain on it.
We could probably handle it, but it could definitely cause issues. Heaven forbid the number is 5,000 people. Were you almost double the size of the county? He said. But the number.
Oh my god.
When is this supposed to go down? Like September something?
Yeah, September 20th.
It only has one place to eat,
But
and
the number-
it's a hotel and lodge. Oh god.
The number of people.
People are going to
isn't-
take turns.
The number of people isn't even Lee's main concern. He said.
Now he's referring to himself in the third person. Zon's go insane. Zon's gone insane.
Breaking the fourth wall.
He said exposure to the environment is what he is worried about. I could see
You're gonna have a bunch of drunk,
Oh yeah.
half dead,
Everybody take an aloe plant.
I could see people a little laughing.
Lee, where can people
Burp will
get
be
gas?
out there with his bottles
again?
of water. That's a good question.
Hey, Lee, where can people get gas again outside of that area? What was the name of that town again?
Alamo.
What was it?
Alamo.
I
So
thought
what you say?
You're welcome, Senate.
Elemento P.
I don't know what you were saying before.
Elemento.
Move
That
your
was me.
hand and say it.
It's either Elemento or Sacramento.
It was definitely an
see-
S in it.
Alamo, you prick. Alamo.
Elmo?
Elmo.
it
He said
now?
Elmo. Oh.
Elmo,
Oh.
Texas.
Who's up?
Yes.
Oh god.
Or Elmo, New Mexico. My bad.
I hate you.
The first time I heard you say it, I didn't know what you were saying.
Not you, Squirrel. I'm talking to the jackass known as.
Oh no!
PB.
The first time we were reading it, I was like, "What the fuck is this town?" And because I wasn't looking at the article as you were reading it, and then I was like, "What the fuck is this? I've never even heard of Alameo. I didn't know where that was."
Alameo.
Like
Sorry.
aloe vera mixed with mayo.
I can
When
see
your
people.
skin is dry and you need to be out in the sun chasing after aliens, try Alameo.
It'll keep you white as snow.
God, I hate you guys. You're all pricks.
Super chat from the Senate. This isn't Sesame Street, retard.
The Senate's timing. The Senate jumped in right at the perfect.
Sesame Street
Oh, I could see people
Oh,
with a lot of
Senate,
heat-related
Senate.
issues.
Oh, the Senate is getting a wrench in my channel so fast.
And with our limited resources,
I don't think I've even seen you in one of my chats before, but I don't care. It's worth it. That was the most brilliantly timed comment I've ever heard.
And and the thing that's funny is he's pointing up on the other super chat that's above it, and he says, "Super chat, are you saying it or not, jackass?" Because he was trying to get Zod to read it.
Oh
Oh shit!
my god.
That's love, though. It's all in love.
Lee, along with the Air Force, urges people not to storm the facility. He encourages people to come.
Lee
see the
encourages to not. Thank you, Lee, for warning us.
or take in the terrain. But do not try to get into Area 51. If they do, they will be meeting Lee and his officers because they could. You son of a bitch. No, thank you.
Anderson Cooper missed you.
What? Because they could what?
Papa.
Because they could be called to help with trespassers.
Why is
Don't
that
fuck
funny?
around or you'll see Lee there, ready to arrest people.
50
Why was that so
people
funny?
in the town.
What?
Why
There's
was
only
that
like 50
so... Go ahead.
I was saying like there's only like 50-some people in this town.
Yep.
54.
They getting robbed.
No, man, they got guns.
That's true out there. For
You
sure.
think people that got guns that are coming too?
That's true.
Oh my.
Yeah, but if you're in the house, that's a defensible position. Haven't you played Call of Duty? You sit at the top of the steps.
Right.
Kill everybody that peeks their
campers.
head around the door.
You're one of those fucking campers that sit there and wait at the fucking corner that piss me off during the game. Because they're fucking sitting there in that spot waiting for you to come around the corner so they can fucking shoot you. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, no, I was talking about playing against the computer, but that's not the point. I wasn't going to say anything, but since this super chat is here, I'm going to read it from the Senate. It says, I've been in your chats a lot, just as different accounts at Proper Jeremy. That's from the Senate.
Oh, you bastard. I know who you are. You bloody brilliant motherfucker. If I think I know who it is, oh God. If you are who I think you are,
He's not.
you are very funny.
He's not.
Oh, he's not?
He's not.
Oh.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
No,
Because
we've actually
if
had
you
this
are
set
talking about who I think you're talking about, that's somebody else.
Oh, I know who that is.
Oh.
Are we talking in code now?
Yeah, I
Oh,
feel
we're
like there's a
not.
lot of
I thought that Proper Jeremy was talking about the Joe Army.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
who that is.
Yeah. Well, then I'm not sure who you're talking about. I don't know who else.
Well, I just
the
remembered
Senate
who
is
it was.
moonlighting as.
Jimmy
Well.
Vick in chat says, I just realized it's way past my bedtime. I was having such a good time. Till next time, she says. Good night, Jamie Vick.
Oh, thank you.
Good night.
We appreciate
Bye,
having you
Vic.
on. It's
I'm
always
glad you enjoyed your time.
The Senate
Of us,
claims to
listening
not
to
be
Zod
funny.
read.
He claims to not be funny, but just have good timing. Well, that's part of being funny.
it's always about
Half
time.
the battle.
Nah, he
I mean,
funny as
Zod
shit.
doesn't have any timing.
The Senate also adds, now I
But we
want to
laugh
play.
at him.
Now I want to play COD just to annoy Zod.
Motherfucker.
Senate, what console you
Oh.
play? Or you play on PC?
If I see a motherfucker that's constantly shooting me, I'm gonna be like, Senate, you son of a bitch!
Dude, you
Right.
only play on your phone.
Actually, I
Oh
do.
my
Girl, play some Marvel
God, this-
Strike Force. Marvel Strike Force.
No,
This
I also got
helicopter-
a pre-order for that new Call of Duty too. It's also gonna be on the phone.
And then back to Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah, man. I just
PlayStation.
unlocked the Fantastic Four.
Senate,
That
you
a
gonna
boy,
get
Senate
lit the fuck up.
PlayStation, not a boy.
You gonna get lit the fuck up. Just let you know.
Ooh, the battle has begun.
It wasn't fun. It was.
LB, are you listening to yourself? What the fuck was that?
No, that was Perp who's becoming a robot.
Oh. That'd be weird.
All right,
think-
We
well,
need another robot. We already got Zod here.
I'm not a robot.
And
I'm a
we got
Kryptonian.
Terrence.
Get it right.
We got Terrence. He's a bot.
Zod, leave.
I mean, how many people have you met that come onto the internet and just volunteer the information of, hey, yeah, earlier today, I kicked my mother in the head.
Nobody ever knows except for Terrence.
That sounds like elder
Only
abuse.
Terrence.
Oh.
Only Terrence.
Oh, that's Terrence. Oh, I don't know what his situation is. I thought it was Lee.
No, Lee tries to kick his mother, and she's like, fuck you, man, boom, judo chop.
Oh.
Okay, well, fuck.
And she
that
takes the
was pretty
motherfucker
accurate.
down.
That was
Can't
actually
handle her.
Not gonna lie.
Like, she's got mad skills, and Lee thinks he has skills.
Oh, I
You
have
know, if
skills.
You
Just
know
not.
how, did you ever watch the first season of Pokemon and how Ash never really wins any of his gym battles, but ends up getting the badges anyways? That's
Oh, that
how
was
Lee
just
got his
fun.
belts.
No,
it's not just one.
as far as I am concerned, he only got one badge, and that was from Brock, and then he tagged along with him.
Yeah. That's how Zod gets his belts. Yeah, he got that yellow belt the real way. Because I know what you have to do to get a yellow belt. I got that when I was freaking like 8 years old. It's not
He
tough.
did Brit. How? What about his head with the board?
That's how you get your concussion belt.
How dark is
that's a
what
fair
kind of
statement.
which color is
How
that? Is that like
it
is that a
varies
black
in
belt
color.
or
It varies
Oh.
from purple to blue.
or is that? Oh, I thought it was like a red belt.
No, it varies from purple to blue, and then it goes back to whatever color your flesh is once it's healed.
Oh, so you go back. So I would go back to a white belt.
Yeah.
I get
What's up, Hanstar?
Hi, Han.
Oh wow.
Hanstar's awesome.
Sound like a
Audio.
robot.
Mhm.
Oh my. Okay, good. It wasn't just me.
Yeah,
I thought
at
it
first I
was
was
my
like, is that you?
earpiece.
Wait, me?
Yep.
Nope. Yes, it
It's
was
gone
you for
now.
a moment proper. Like your
Oh.
microphone was wonky.
Oh, is it fine now?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like, I don't know if you ever watched Stargate. It was like your Gould was talking for a moment, and now you're just talking as a normal person again.
Oh,
Han Star is in chat. He said he's dropping a like from the stream he's on. Thanks for
What up,
popping
what
in.
What a
Thanks,
fantastic car.
Thanks for killing his watch time.
thank you very much.
Oh, there's a super chat from the Senate.
Ooh, a super chat. Oh, would you like to read it, or do you want me to?
Go right for it. You go for it.
Proper Jeremy. If you make me a mod, just know I barely do my job. Look at what I do here. I don't do jack shit.
Well, it's better than you jacking shit up.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like the Senate posts links in the chat. I've never seen them do that before.
Well, you'll get it for bragging rights tonight.
That's
How
fair.
about that?
No, wrenches are nice for bragging rights. That is true.
Mhm.
You know, you just pop up and people are like, hey, I've been here for 2 weeks. And this sumbitch ain't never been here before. And he's got a wrench.
I'm still waiting on my wrench from LB.
LB gives out wrenches?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
I
it's
didn't know
not just
anybody on his channel has a wrench.
no, it's not just a thing to just give away willy nilly. No, I mean, like if you have a wrench, you should probably do something. That's why you, PB and Zod are in the approved users category. You could do anything that mods can do, except you can't put people in timeout. But I don't have to worry about you making inappropriate comments.
So who
that will get people banned. That's
did you
not
give
something
Chris Knight a wrench?
Nope. Well, maybe at one point.
Good
But
night
you
to
took it away.
good night to
Probably.
Mega Jetty 1. Mega
Good night,
Jetty
Mega
1.
Jetty
Mega
1.
Jetty's leaving. That's unfortunate. Trying to pump up the watch time. Just leave it play in the background. Just turn your monitor and speakers off.
Yeah. That's all you gotta do. Just here pop in. Hey, I'm leaving a like. Goodbye. Yeah, that ain't help.
I mean, how much does leaving the like help? Does it help after the fact, or does it help while we're doing the live stream?
I mean, it helps the engagement, but like if someone just pops in and leaves, then like it hurts your watch time and retention, so it won't get suggested to other channels and stuff like that.
So I was gonna say, that's like if you just pop in and leave a like, that's like a double-edged sword, because it's like, hey, yeah, I gave you the like, but then I'm also telling YouTube that I only watched you for 30 seconds.
Right.
Will you please
Or
stop,
less.
PB? Will you please read the last 2 super
Oh.
chats really quick? I'm sorry.
Okay. From the Senate. Zod's a whore when it comes to modding, folks. That's why I'm a mod. He gives wrenches like a slut gives BJs.
I love how he adds the cheese to it. What is that supposed to mean, Zod? Like, is there something with like you eating cheese?
PB's cheese.
Oh,
The
do you
cheese,
cut the
I
cheese?
No. Just listen before you ask 50 questions. when I can just answer?
I thought it was
I
25
told them,
questions.
motherfucker. I
Oh,
told
no,
them
the game is
since
21
he's not
questions. Never mind.
monetized and they don't actually get highlighted, it would be nice if they could put something to help highlight the super chats. So I decided that what's the best thing that they could put? A bunch of cheese.
Since you are a cheesehead.
Exactly. So that's what people put when they do a super chat. So it helps to highlight the super chat because you see a bunch of cheese and then you know there's a super chat.
Really quick from chat, Mega Jetty 1 says, I was here for more than 30 seconds. Thank you very much. Oh my.
Hanstar, I'm cheating on Rosetta. Oh, hilarious. That's fantastic.
Seems
Oh my
like there's a
God.
lot of drama going around. Mega Jetty says, I don't leave right away. I wait a moment to see the farewells to me. All right, what if everyone ignores you?
Oh
Do you
shit.
do you just wait like longer, or like if people
Ooh, that's a
prolong
good
it?
question. Like, yeah, can we keep him on the hook? If it's like, okay, everybody except for one
Poor Mega
person
Jetty.
say goodbye, and we can hold him here for like another hour.
Hey, it sounds like a plan.
And
don't
then
it?
we'll get another hour of watch time.
But, I mean, does that work for Hanstar?
Boom
No, he was saying it to
science.
Mega Jetty.
No, Meg Jetty was
mistake.
saying that. He was saying
No,
I was.
Hanstar said farewell to Mega Jetty.
No, he said he was
I
cheating.
misread it.
Yeah, he said he
Yeah,
was cheating.
Hanstar is
on-
cheating. He's here to
So
watch
is
some
the Senate,
real
apparently.
entertainment. Oh,
The Senate
Oh,
says,
he-
so am I, LOL.
oh,
Well, Mega
Senate.
Jetty had just became honest with us. He said, "Then I just leave."
Yeah,
Oh,
that's kind of you, though, to come in for a while and chill.
Yeah, absolutely. But what are your time limits? I'm just curious.
I bet it's
wait,
probably
what's
based
there's
on
a time limit?
Like, hey, I'm gonna say hi and say like, hey, I'm just here to leave a like if somebody says anything. You know, you wait for the farewells. How long do you wait? Like, what's our time limit for our message to reach you?
I get what you're asking.
Mhm.
Like, if nobody says farewell, how long are you willing to wait for the farewells?
Yeah, because we don't want you to miss the farewells. And he's just saying, LOL, you all crack me up. I'm like, I'm asking you a serious question.
Oh, Mama Bear cracks me up.
Yep.
No, that's what Mega Jetty said. He said, LOL, you all crack me up.
And then Mad's Mama Bear said, I'm here for LB's expressions. And then Jimmy Vic goes, oh, you mean like LB ignored me when I was leaving? Oh, my.
I said good night. Don't make me go back to the chat when I say good night.
Mega Jetty 1 says, I'm trying to get to bed before 5 o'clock and it's 4:40 right now. Okay, so it just depends when
Hey.
everyone's tired, I think.
Oh,
okay.
so he can
I
hang
think
out
it's a
for another
fool.
like 18 to 19 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes. Okay, he says he usually waits 2 minutes. That's fair. Yeah. This is the longest goodbye he's probably had in a while.
He gave it 2 minutes. All right, we have 2 minutes to entertain Mega Jetty 1. Let's go. The time is ticking. All right, how do we make you
Focus
laugh?
on LB's expressions.
Yeah, just
Full
focus
screen
on his
that
screen.
shit.
My
Full
personal
screen it.
favorite is the staring. Yeah.
I swear to God that
All you have to do is
I mean,
all you have to do is click on him.
the night that he
solo
was
layout.
frozen was pretty funny. Deep in thought.
Yeah, he was frozen in a position where he was thinking.
Yeah. Thinking
Oh, there he is. The man of the hour.
I'm doing this for you, LB, because you're going through rough times. We're here for you.
Florida State Seminole fan.
Off my face. Why you always get that screen in my videos? There's a reason for that.
Good night, Mega
Hey.
Jetty. He's officially leaving.
Oh wait,
Oh, I thought he
no,
said
we
good
were
night
supposed
before.
to wait. We were supposed to wait.
No, only Mad Squirrel said it so far.
Oh my. Biden Sniff and Thunder says Biden raid.
Whoa.
Hashtag abide by Biden. Mother of God.
Yes.
Sniff and Thunder.
Oh my God, how many Bidens are there?
I don't know, but they're all on my
I know at
channel.
least
There were a bunch of them on my channel earlier today. Oh
I
my
did watch
God.
the first 20 minutes or so of the replay of This Week in Bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh, you only
people
watched
did not
20 minutes?
understand the Bidens.
Oh, people didn't?
Well, it didn't seem like the other people that were on the show with you understood the Bidens,
The Bidens
other
are
than maybe
beautiful.
19K Fox, because he's like in the chat sometimes.
He was sniffing everybody.
Oh, I was explaining it to them.
Right. I know you were explaining it to them. And then
so
Mary was
funny.
still like, okay.
Well, she doesn't get the Bidens.
Oh, that's what I said.
You didn't say that.
I said the people on the show with you. Is she not one of the people on the show with you? Is she not a person? Are you disrespecting a whammon right now?
No, how could I?
Biden man,
couldn't you?
Biden man does whatever a Biden man can.
Yeah, he was
No,
there earlier.
no, there's no fucking man at the end. No, you read it fucking wrong.
Biden man.
It's Biden man does whatever a Biden can. There's no man at the end, you
that's
nuts. Wait, who's about to get raided?
Erp.
Erp, are they outside your door?
Uh-oh.
Hello? Uh-oh, I just heard a crash. Erp? Are you there? Is he muted?
No.
Okay.
Not muted.
We're about to hear a police raid. Get down on the ground.
No. I went through that 6 years ago. I'm good.
Oh, gosh.
All right, the Senate just kind of magically disappeared. And now we have the Bidens.
Oh. So it is him.
Oh.
It all comes
Senate.
together.
You got to learn how to talk with both accounts at the same time. Have a conversation with yourself as subterfuge.
Actually, that doesn't even work.
You mean it doesn't work?
No, I mean, Black English Reviews try to get that work with me. He had like a parody account of me, like called like Proper Jeremy's Face, when I had a face reveal, and he was like arguing with himself on Twitter. I was like, all right, now I know that it's you. Like, why did you make it? And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, wait, how did you know? I was like, that's how Jeremy found out who I was a long time ago. I was a different account. Like, I was doing the dual thing. And then,
And you fucked up.
no, I just acknowledged myself too much.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, you don't be a putz about it.
Well,
Don't
yeah,
be a
but
proper about it.
Yeah, but I recognized it immediately because I recognized the one time that I made a mistake of doing it too much on one live stream. Then he found out, and I was like, okay, now I can spot other people doing it. You can't hide from me.
Interesting. So you've got all of the inside information.
The fastest Biden says, shit, my pizza's ready. That's why I thought it was the fattest Biden.
Jeez. All right.
What,
So,
did we all collectively pause to read that message from Generation Productions?
Yes.
yes.
That was amazing. I was like, it went silent, and I was like, we're all fucking reading this right now, aren't we?
Can you read it for me, PB?
Put it on the screen, Zod.
The fattest Biden alive says, "Mod me up, ho, before
Okay.
Pimp Daddy Palpatine comes for." Oh God.
No. What did you guys do that have the cops after yous? Leg it, boys. Hide that drugs and run. LOL jokes. I will never hide it. You just finish it, man. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Oh yeah.
You hide it in your stomach.
I don't mess with the snozberries after 93.
What's a snozberry?
What, you ain't never seen Super Troopers?
No.
Stop talking to me.
Who are you?
All right, I'm gonna start.
I heard some faint echo.
Let's get everyone to plug their
uncultured
channels.
swine.
You're a hockey.
Yeah, let the uncultured swine go first. Proper Jeremy, go ahead and plug this alleged channel you have.
Oh, hi,
With
my
the
name is
car
Mr.
videos.
Potato Head.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Proper Jeremy. You can find me at youtube.com/properjeremy. And I just recently had a This Week in Bullshit a few hours ago. And it's the thumbnail is one of my favorites that I made. It's literally the Disney Plus logo. Instead of the plus, it's the poop emoji. It's lovely. You should all check it out. And it's a fun stream. It's a lot of fun. So go check it out.
All right, and let's go to because my commander did this out of order. Let's go to
I didn't do anything out of order. We're on the fucking screen randomly, you dick. Just pick someone.
I go this way, or I go this way.
I don't need to know the ways that you're going. I don't want to know all the ways you're going.
Go ahead, Mad Squirrel. Bring some
Hello.
civility.
You can find me on YouTube under Mad Squirrel, and also on Twitter under SGT Mad Squirrel. And I have 2 videos I just posted this week. So there you go. That's it.
Ooh.
Excellent.
Go check those out. Like them, watch them, all that good stuff. Let's go to the loneliest man on the panel. LB, tell them about your charity. You're going to be starting soon.
I just dropped a video talking about that democratic socialism thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can go watch that if you like. Don't be a putz and click it, say cool video and exit.
I'm gonna do that.
All right.
When we get off the stream, I have a question for you, LB.
What's up?
About your previous video. No, when we get off the stream, I got a question.
Oh, all right.
Ooh, mysterious.
Really quick, Generation Productions said later chat, and have a good night, basically. So,
have a good night, Generation. And Herb.
Yep, see you later.
Yerp, just for dope show as usual. Got a non-spoiler review of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark up on my channel, and I also talk about I have a video talking about the whole Disney Plus. People saying, "Oh, Netflix is dead." Fuck out of here. Also, just dropped a video for Rick Ross's new album, Port of Miami 2. If you care about that shit, if you care about hip hop, you know what I'm saying, go check that out. Got a bunch of other videos coming, but I won't say what those are. You're just gonna have to sub and find out.
Nice. Left them wanting more. And the commander, the co-host, and often late because he just comes in whenever the fuck he wants to.
That's
Go ahead,
you and your
baby.
commander with a glorious beard.
These are facts.
Yeah.
If you had a glorious beard, you would show up late too.
Fair
Yep,
enough.
I am PB, and you can find me at Pop Culture PB on YouTube and on Twitter. I talk about Marvel and Star Wars, and a little bit of Game of Thrones. And the previous video I did was a High Council highlight. It was Geek Girl Diva invading the High Council and praising Captain Marvel. So if you want to have a short laugh, go check it out.
Nice. Not a long one, just short laughs. And as always, you guys have been here in the Fandom Zone with my wonderful panelists. Thank you
When
all.
did we finally upgrade to being in the Fandom Zone instead of on the Fandom Zone?
Well, I had to.
Thank God.
Yeah, it seemed a little.
Thank you. Continue. Sorry.
So, as always, thank you very much for coming here on this glorious channel. And I will have episode 2 non-spoiler review for The Boys coming tomorrow in the afternoon hour. And I'm going to, after I get through all 8 episodes, do an in-depth review, which will be a side-by-side comparison to the comic books and how I actually like them deviating from the source material. Also, me and Perp will be doing a spoiler talk on Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I'm going to wait a couple of days for that and let people watch it before I bring that out. And, you know, as always, thank you. Remember the golden rule here on the channel. Kneel before Zod.
Oh God, no!
Much more anime.
No.
No.
No!
Your
Watch a lot
banners
more
suck so much.
No!